Here we are, folks, in beautiful, snowy Norwalk, Connecticut for January's new bot event here at the National Havoc Robot League. The weather may be cold, but the fights have been so hot so far. We've had some amazing stuff going on in all 8 of our cages, but here's what's up next. All right, hello everyone, and welcome to NHRL's January New Bots event. I'm so excited to be at the desk up here with Kyle Kroos and Adam Wrigley. Thank you for joining us, gentlemen. This has been an amazing tournament so far. We've had some really great fights in all 8 cages, and we're gonna go to 3-pound highlights right now.
Really beautiful event here in the 3-pound division. Absolutely bizarre bots, a lot of explosions, a lot of new bot jitters, and a lot of just world beaters that we're seeing the beginning of their run for this year.
Some great performances by control bots in all the weight classes today.
Absolutely. We just saw a really great control bot right there, the big flat boy himself. Check this guy out. The entire front panel, AR, completely defending the bot, but able to lift and throw. Really cool.
All right, so let's check out the 3-pound bracket powered by True Finals. Up top, we've got Rewind and Repeater, Catalyst and Winx, Twisted Sister and Vapor Trail, Scurryfest, and Sir Spinny. All right, pretty stacked bracket, I'd say, gentlemen.
Yeah, 3-pound bracket looking really vicious. Some really cool bots. Some more traditional designs have made it into the finals, but we've had some bizarre stuff throughout the day today. Absolutely weird bots. Go check out that footage, but now that we are in prime time, it is all business.
Yeah, so let's take a look at the basics of Havoc robot fights here. We've got 3 weight classes at 3, 12, and 30 pounds. They fight head-to-head in a knockout fight, and if there is no knockout within 3 minutes, then it will go to a panel of judges. And folks, it's open to anyone. You bring a robot, you can fight it. So let's look at some of the best 12-pound moments earlier in the day.
12-pound bracket was by far the most competitive bracket of the day. We had flamethrowers, we had giant weapons, we had absolutely devastating robots, some of them with a little bit of experience, but most of them just brand new designs. Check this hub motor spinner out, ripping apart this nail gun bot. That's right, nail gun bot. What are we doing? This is just the weirdest year, and it just started. You could see hub motors were quite the theme in that weight class today, too.
And in the 12-pound bracket, powered by True Finals, we have Thunderbolt and Blue Marlin at the top, Void and BattleTots, BumbleBlitz and Energizer, Questionable Choices, and Synthesis 12. But let's take a look upstairs in the pits with Luke. I believe he's up there. So let's take...
Hey everybody, I am here with BattleTots, one of the most delightfully named 12-pounders here alive in the field. And these are builders Kevin Biagini and Matt Lantry, who have survived into the bracket. Now, I want to start with you, Kevin. BattleTots, fantastic name, I love it. What is the concept behind BattleTots?
So originally I was given just the chance to own this robot. It was set on table, so I grabbed it and I joked around like, oh, I'm gonna make it a 3-pound, it'll never be in weight. So we joked about making it a multi-bot, and I kind of dragged Matt into it, and here we are. So it's 7.5 pounds, split weight, 12-pound robot, and we are slowly gonna bring more robots into that as well, that we kind of alternate out at different events so we can always come and have fun.
Now, if we take a look at the robots here on the table, I can see a perfect scale model Bite Force, followed by a perfect scale model Ribot. Now, the perfect scale model Ribot was built by Matt Lantry. Now, Matt, you made your NHRL debut in 2021, and you've been known for super fast, shovey control bots, 4-bar lifters, and this is your very first kinetic weapon robot. Tell me about that experience building a weapon robot.
very frightening. It is definitely something that builders don't consider how dangerous things can be. And for me, it was a very nerve-wracking experience. When we first spun it up, Kevin is witness, I was going as slow as humanly possible. But once you drive a vertical spinner, it's kind of fun, and you warm up.
You're doing great. Can't wait to see BattleTots in the bracket. Back down to you on the desk.
Some very cool scaled down robots there, and the multi-bot meta today has been pretty impressive.
Yeah, people are really dialing in that you don't really see the concept of a mini bot anymore. It is a multi-bot strategy now in all 3 weight classes and being used to great effect at this event.
Yeah.
Great teamwork.
Next up, let's take a look at that 30-pound class. We've got some highlights here.
That bot exploded itself. There you see Ricky's bot, Moccasin.
Largest 30 I've ever seen.
I mean, it looks like 125 pounds of robot, but it's not. It's within weight.
Got a little flip.
Nice little lift there, beautiful moves. And check this weird collection of strange boxy robots. It looks like the 90s in there. I don't know what happened.
Kyle, let's look at the 30-pound bracket powered by True Finals. In our first fight in the 30s, we've got Bedside and Moccasin. That'll be a fun one. Budget Extinction and Crushfist up next. Nitro-Oxide and Crack. And Colossal Avian versus Mr. Roper bringing up the rear. Some fun ones in this.
I love that Mr. Roper has made it into the bracket.
Yeah, very excited for that.
All right, so looking to Cage 1 now. We've got a couple of 30-pound robots being set up to fight.
That's right. We have our announcer, Ricky Willems, joining us with Moccasin right there. And you can see behind him the degenerate known as Clyde Magnuson, who's brought some actual professional help to help him get his robot working this time. Interesting strategy, Clyde.
Just look at the scale of Moccasin next to the people. It's enormous.
It's like a Rottweiler. It is a giant thing up there. The point of Moccasin is that it is a rotary lifter or launcher. It will throw the bot across the arena with that giant spinning arm. It also has rotary lifters, which is a new addition to this design for Ricky. He's added literally 2 more moving parts to this robot, but it has been used so effectively today. Excellent strategy, been used to great effect, and he's doing phenomenally in the bracket so far.
We're seeing more and more of those cam lifter style rotating active forks on robots, and they're really effective in this combination that Ricky's done with the high torque lifter.
Now let's talk very quickly about Bedside. It is a bizarre robot with so much going on. So first of all, its active weapon is a hot glue gun? A high-powered hot glue gun?
It's an interesting strategy. You don't see that a lot.
Ever. I don't think we've seen that ever. Yeah, it's very strange. There is a lot that has been put into this robot. It's got custom wheels. It's a full custom build. Very advanced for somebody like Clyde, but he's gotten a lot of help with it. And I got to tell you, it looks great.
Made it into the bracket here tonight. And it'll be really interesting to see how can that gum up all of those mechanics that we just talked about on Moccasin.
Absolutely, yes. And those wheels are so cool. One of the things I learned about those wheels is that the mold he was going to use to make them didn't actually end up getting printed. The printer died before that could happen, so he ended up using Chinese food containers to mold the wheels.
I was wondering why they had such a strong taper.
4, 3,
Seems pretty on brand for Clyde.
Yeah, well, Clyde lives off Chinese food, so this makes sense.
Pure aggression coming out from Moccasin here.
Nice lift there by Moccasin, just launching them over into the corner. You can see Moccasin stalking across the arena over at Bedside. Nice throw again. Lots of little parts for... Uh-oh.
Ricky's a good sport, knocking him back onto the wheels there.
Yeah, I didn't want to end the fight too early. Very kind of him.
Moccasin is such an awkward robot to fight. It is so hard to drive against something just so big. It really messes with your sense of scale as a driver.
Yeah, and what do you hit? I mean, everything important is up so high, there's really just nowhere to reach on that robot. Unless you want to take out a wheel or just hit that weapon directly.
Yeah, Moccasin can be susceptible
Nice throw there.
What a toss.
You can see there's no real method for bedside to self-right, but Moccasin's actually helping in that regard.
Moccasin wants this fight to go all the way.
I think Moccasin wants to see the glue. And, you know, so do I.
Show me the glue. Now, the glue is like neon green, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so we will see it. Pieces are falling off of something.
Looks like wheels, actually, like chunks of the wheels. Doing a little dance. Nice slam from bedside into the corner and a pin.
And those nice manners for Moccasin maybe coming back to haunt them here.
You are allowed to hold a pin for up to 10 seconds before you have to release it. And it does appear as though there's, oh, nope, that was something important. I believe it is one of the forks off of bedside. Just came off. And
what
a
a
nice
toss.
flip again onto bedside. Another flip.
Really showing off the torque, the power of that weapon in Moccasin here.
It moves slower than you would see most spinning masses in this event, so you don't recognize just how powerful that thing is.
You see a lot of spinners here, they're going for that kinetic energy. Moccasin is going for torque.
Big tosses across the arena, smacks into the wall if they can get it. And you can see Ricky doing a phenomenal job controlling the pace of the fight at this point, corralling them into the corner, getting yet another flip. I believe that's flip number 6 at this point.
Yeah, they are definitely winning the flip count here.
Down to the last 24 seconds of this fight.
All this control, this time upside down, is really going to hurt bedside if this goes to the judges.
And it looks like we are going to go to the judges. I don't know if we'll be able to get a count out within the next 12 seconds.
Yeah, I think this is going to go to the end.
Another flip.
But I see this seems like an easy decision to me for Moccasin here. Just pure domination other than that one pin.
Beautiful work from both of these teams. Celebratory dance from Moccasin. Ricky just having a banner day with this robot today.
Great driving all around, but it's just so hard to get any progress on such an awkward robot like Moccasin, and Ricky drove it real well there.
Absolutely. Look at this team. They are safety conscious, if nothing else. Ricky getting a lot of help from Team Honeycrack there. You can see the other team members helping him drive the bot. And they're examining the damage they have caused by tossing them around the box for the past 3 minutes.
Yeah, you know, these are 30-pound robots getting tossed around this box, thrown like multiple feet into the air, bouncing around. You know, you can get a lot of damage dealt, and that's not even counting the fact that the teeth on Moccasin are hardened steel doing the tossing. So.
You can hear Anthony D'Ambrosio saying, "Oh, should have added more zip ties. Would have held together better."
There's nothing that more zip ties can't solve.
You know, Clyde is this is probably the most designed bot ever brought to the arena by him and this team, but still zip ties, major factor in the construction.
I will say, no matter how designed your robot is, you end up with zip ties. They're just a useful tool in the builder's tool case.
Right, but usually is like wire management, you know?
Yes.
Not necessarily construction.
All right, while this one goes to the judges, we're going to go ahead and check upstairs with Luke.
Hey, everybody. I am here with Kokoto Mane, one of the best, most enthusiastic, good vibes builders up here in the pits.
Thank you.
Running the multi-bot here today, the Power of Friendship. Now, this robot went incredibly deep today. What was your ending record, Kokoto?
The robot went 3-1 and ended up in the round of 16.
Now, Kokoto, I managed to call one of your fights where you sparked a lipo fire. That was very exciting, and that's really the design of this robot, right? Like, tell us a little bit more about the Power of Friendship.
Oh, glad you asked. So, of course, with the multi-bot bonus, instead of having 1 free pound bot, you can add an extra pound. So instead of 1 free pound bot, I have 2 2-pound robots. and I thought, what if I gave them both something to attack from above? And I thought about different ideas, and this was something that people haven't done a lot, a drill. Because I like doing things that are kind of different. I was kind of iffy on if the drills would work, but it just seemed like a cool concept, and it just seemed like a fun thing to do. And if being honest here, I was only like 10% sure it'd actually work. I did not believe that they do this kind of damage. I was so shocked, like everyone else, when I caused that lipo fire. Easily one of the proudest moments of my entire career. That was just insane.
Now, Kokoto, I have to ask you a final question. Tell me a little bit more about your design and build ethos. You've built Serial Killer, you've built really cool robots, but they all seem to have kind of like the same theme, like the same idea. Can you talk to us about that?
I'm glad you asked. So for one, I kind of like weapons that come from overhead, whether it's be the cereal box of Serial Killer, the overhead flamethrower, kill with fire, or the drills, or the power of friendship. I like robots with arms. It gives them, just some extra degree of freedom. I like that personality. I'm not that into spinners personally, and in general, I kind of like just making different stuff. And like the power of friendship is a good example of that. Just two cute control bots with googly eyes. They don't look very threatening at first, but they can do some damage apparently, and they surprise even me.
Amazing. I can't wait to see you again here, Kokoto, in the competition. Back down to you on the desk.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Luke and Kokoto. We are going to go ahead and hop to cage 4, where we've got Nitro-Oxide and Crack.
I'm excited for this one. Crack is somewhat Shatter-inspired hammer robots. So winning my heart there.
I talked to this builder yesterday, and when I mentioned that you might be announcing one of his fights today, the look on this man's face, he was like just pure joy and surprise. Like, oh really? Adam might? Absolutely delightful.
Very exciting. They've paired it with, again, a rotating cam, active fork lifting multi-bot, and they're going against Nitro-Oxide, which is a really mean-looking drum robot.
Yeah, Nitro is amazing.
Oh, you can see Nitro came out strafing hard with the Moccasin wheels. Unfortunately, clipped that drum in the wrong way, and it looks like that hammer is not going to be able to self-right them. That is not how you want to come out of the gate.
So Nitro-Oxide from our team from the UK, this is Andy Russell. He has been here before. This is an incredibly powerful drum spinner. It's been in 3 events before this one. And this thing hits like a ton of bricks. I mean, it is a lot of people's favorites to win the entire 30-pound class today.
Yeah, Nitro-Oxide is beautiful when you look up at close. It has amazing detail to the machine components. It just glistens in the lights.
It really does, yeah. He's put a lot of new parts into it to bring it here. And one thing about this team, I think the first time they came here, they really weren't prepared to work in the United States. They had a lot of struggles with just logistics and figuring stuff out. They've got that dialed in now. They're ready to go, and they have been absolute murder out there.
Wow, I mean, what a performance from Nitro-Oxide. Just
and they were
came
missing,
out
like, part of their drive for most of that.
one hit. Ugh. Yeah, it's different perspectives. A dream fight for one side and a nightmare fight for the other.
Are there many dream matchups for hammer robots?
Oh, that was a bit of a burn.
Ouch.
Ow.
Yeah, you can see them strafe out of the gate here, and unfortunately they bounce off the wall and go backside into the drum. I think they needed a little bit more patience. They tried to do the box rush. It did not work out for them, and they just couldn't come back.
Brave choice running the Moccasin wheels. They didn't have to do it. They could have run their hybrid wheels that give them a little bit more traction.
Yeah. I don't even run the Moccasin's here. So it was certainly brave, and you could see them get some maneuverability out of it. They just couldn't slow down enough and just missed a little bit.
Yeah, and once you get that first hit from that drum, it's really hard to recover. Obviously, we just saw the end of them very quickly.
We'll say was impressed with the traction. They really got
they
going.
got a good zip out of that.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys want to go ahead and check upstairs with Luke and Ricky?
Sure, let's check them out.
Let's do it.
Hey everybody, this is Ricky Willems here, just the absolute bloodthirsty builder of Moccasin. Now, this thing is gorgeous, it's terrifying, and it also completely destroyed a robot built by our very good friend, Clyde Magnuson. I guess my first question for you, Ricky, is how dare you?
That's valid. It's meant to do all of those things except crush hopes and dreams of dear, dear friends.
Yeah.
But, you know, sometimes things get caught in the crossfire and hopes have to die.
I will say, a serious question. Moccasin looks unscathed. How much damage have you taken today? I mean, this must be your third or fourth fight today, right?
Yeah, this was fight number 4. We haven't... The only thing we've had is a busted weapon chain, which broke. I think it got a direct hit. I haven't gone back and watched the replays. Other things have gotten kind of beat up, and we've swapped them out, but nothing has stopped working yet, which is just... for something that is never turned on all at once, you know, is amazing.
Now, Ricky, anyone with eyes probably already guessed this, but I can tell you that you have won that last fight, which was, you know, I would say a squash match, Ricky.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a booger robot, and I think it got kind of squeezed and flattened and crumpled up, and no, it was, I really like that robot. I was really looking forward to seeing it like shoot goo everywhere, so I'm a little sad that didn't happen, but it had so many good hook points. It was a fun thing to kick around.
Now, Ricky, looking at the bracket, very exciting. I think you're going to be going up against the giant 30-pound Crushfist with the super long forks.
Oh,
you've seen it.
We fought them.
Oh, good.
Today.
I believe that's your next fight.
Okay.
If not, I'm so sorry. What is your strategy going to that fight, if that is your next fight?
Well, this might sound a little strange, but we've learned so much in 4 fights. I would love another shot at that, because the first fight, like, I could barely drive, and bless his heart, Cody tried his best to operate the weapon, but it's a steep learning curve. Now we get it. I would love to go in there and, you know, kick a Crushfist clone into the wall a dozen times. So it's just, don't be bad like last time, although I think we won last time. So don't be as bad as last time. That's the only goal.
Ricky, fantastic work so far tonight, and can't wait to see your next fight. Best of luck.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. We'll see you next.
Back to you on the desk.
All right, we're going to hop into some of Ricky's highlights with Moccasin earlier in the day. This is one from his last fight.
Moccasin's looking really impressive today, and you know, I think Ricky's been building this style of robot for a long time, and I'm surprised we're not seeing more clones, because it's proven to be fairly competitive style, a very unique bot.
Really has. It's beaten some world beaters out there. It's just such a hard design to fight against.
All right, up to cage 1, where we've got Roper, Mr. Roper in the blue corner, and in the pink corner, we've got Colossal Avian.
All right, and just a quick note, Budget Extinction did forfeit their last matchup, which means Crushfist does move on, so we will be seeing Crushfist versus Moccasin in round 2 of the 30-pound bracket.
Fight, robots, fight.
But meanwhile, let's get back to this fight. Colossal Avian taking on Mr. Roper. Colossal Avian has been launching beautiful overhead attacks all day. Mr. Roper has also been launching overhead attacks. I wouldn't call them beautiful so much as I would call them somewhat frantic and grumpy.
Frantic and grumpy is apt. You can see him taking his frustration out on the floor. Come at me, stop running away, get over here, and let me pound you.
He's coming at it with a bunch of speed squares as the armor plates on the side. This is a standard toolbox. It's not made out of a...
Oh! And Colossal Avian crushes the multi-bot of Mr. Roper, using it to pummel Mr. Roper with their own multi-bot.
Mass to their hammer, if you will. Impressive.
Colossal Avian here seems to be having drive issues. Seems like they came out of the gate with drive issues, so unable to take advantage of Mr. Roper as maybe some might expect.
And Mr. Roper not really taking advantage themselves. They don't seem to be driving straight anyway.
They just seem to be kind of pirouetting.
Nice.
Oh, taking out an eye. Oh, no.
And so then you can see Colossal Avian trying to get that weapon back up to speed before they launch another attack in.
They're able to get the angles here, shoving Mr. Roper into the corner. He's on the ropes.
But he's taking the hits.
I'm afraid his depth perception might be affected by that damage there.
You know, just after the first Rocky movie, Rocky had no depth perception. You don't need it to win fights.
Okay.
In mythical Philadelphia.
Yeah, just keep swinging.
It seems here now Colossal Avian's gotten their drive mobility back. They seem to be driving okay. You don't usually see that, the drive getting better as the fight goes on, but we'll see if they can get the weapon going and get a few more hits in here.
And you can see Mr. Roper very upset at missing an eye. Very understandable. But taking it out on the floor, take it out on your opponent, Mr. Roper. Take it out on your opponent.
Mr. Roper is not happy about how this fight is going. You can just see it on his face. He seems to have lost power to his right arm. Only the left arm is pounding at this point. It does seem like this is going to make it to the judges.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is how Mr. Roper has gotten through the whole day, honestly. Just durability and surprising amounts of durability considering what the bot is made out of.
Surprising amounts of durability for a toolbox and surprising amounts of aggression.
Yeah, I mean, so much aggression. All day.
This particular fight, I don't think Mr. Roper was able to show enough aggression here to overcome, but closer than I think we might have thought coming into this one.
He got some hits.
Yeah.
He really did.
He did. I mean, for a while there, you know, Avian was on the, spinning around in circles. So, great performance.
Well, that one's going to go to the judges.
That's Matthew Zhang, by the way. Let's watch a quick replay of his matchup here. This is a brand new bot from this team from Illinois.
What a hit on the multi-bot component there. I think the damage to that bot is that's gonna be the fight right there.
And we've seen this bot before utilized by Tom Farkas. I believe it's one of his designs. And you see him operating it there in the background. there you see the team captain for Mr. Roper. He does not look happy.
I said this earlier, but I really feel like more people need to be wearing like sweat wristbands. That needs to come back in style. I think it's a good look.
It's
and
practical.
We don't have enough, yeah.
This time of year, they might be wrist warmers. Okay, so according to the YouTube poll, they think by 80% that Colossal Avian's going to take that fight. And I'm surprised about the other 20%.
What happened to that other 20%? Are they okay?
I think, you know, there's a lot of love out there.
Oh,
yeah,
I see. Yes, so they're voting with their hearts, not with their eyeballs.
Yeah.
Which is not what our judges do.
Yeah, no, our judges use their eyeballs.
No, they have a strict judging rubric. There's a lot of rules involved. Very objective, so probably going to be unfortunate for that 20%.
Well, we've already found out today that hearts can get broken at this event. And, you know, it is what it is. It's combat.
Yeah.
But everybody's still having a great time.
Everyone's laughing. That's what you want to see at the end of a fight.
You gotta appreciate the team behind Mr. Roper. This is the team Eel Monkey Arts. They provide a lot of the great custom merch out in our store, a lot of the cool little plushies. I have some myself. My kids love them. They also have built the giant furry suit that you see running around here from time to time.
All right, while we wait for this judge's decision, let's go ahead and check in with Lindsay upstairs.
Hello, Sam. Hello, everyone. How are you? I am so excited to be up here in the pits with you all. There's a lot of excitement going on. It's do or die at this point, so everyone's trying their hardest to make sure they're ready for their next fight. But I'm over here in the YouTube live chat, so if you're watching at home or no matter where you are, join us, because we have a ton of people from all over the world hanging out in the chat. We're sharing polls. We're doing discussions. So if you're watching at home, we'd love to have you. Come join us.
All right. Thanks, Lindsay.
We just got news from the desk. Colossal Avian was your winner in that last matchup, so very sad for Mr. Roper.
A solid run for Mr. Roper.
Yeah, really solid run. So congratulations to Colossal Avian, winning by judge's decision. Congratulations to Mr. Roper for going the full 3 minutes against such a hard hitter.
Yeah, impressive performance overall today by both robots, and yeah.
So Colossal Avian will be going on to the next round to face off against Nitro-Oxide.
That is going to be a high energy fight.
I am very excited about that. That's going to be great.
A pretty deep run for a toolbox.
Yeah, pretty good. So we're going to have Moccasin versus Crushfist in the 30-pound division, Nitro-Oxide versus Colossal Avian, and the winner of those 2 matches will go on to the final for the 30-pound bracket.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're into it right now, guys. It's getting deep already. It's going to be fun.
And new this season, only the top 2 robots make the finals.
Yeah, things have changed a lot as far as that is concerned. The first 2 robots are allowed into the finals, and then there's another rubric that we look at to see who else can possibly make it in as a wild card. So we'll find out about that later. But yes, it is the top 2.
And you all are referring to the championship at the end of the year. So throughout the year, robots have to qualify for our championship, where they're eligible to win the coveted
World
Golden Brett.
Championship.
Yeah, the World Championship. So this year, if you make it to finals during the regular season tournament, then you've qualified for the championship.
Yep.
So those semifinal matches are going to be real big to see who's going to get that guaranteed seat in the championships.
Absolutely. So the next round in the 30-pound bracket is huge. All right, so let's go ahead to Cage 4 and check in with the 12-pound top 8 first fight. Here we go. In Cage 4, we have Thunderbolt and Blue Marlin.
This has been a competitive weight class all day, really coming into their own this season. You know, the 12-pound class sitting in between the 30s and the 3s sometimes, you know, doesn't have as much attendance, doesn't have as much competitiveness. That is definitely not the case today. This class has been intense.
Yeah, absolutely scary. Thunderbolt is brought to you by DJ Carpenter. Really powerful robot. DJ is a very experienced builder here. Excited to see his performance in this. Blue Marlin, brought to us by Bob Bellinson. Also been to NHRL a few times. This is a Vorion clone with a full billet UHMW chassis. This is like crazy for 12 pounds. Full billet UHMW chassis. I mean, it's like we've got all these hub motors, we've got full billet chassis. The technology development in the 12-pound division here at NHRL has been absurd this year.
Yeah. You can see now this is a big, large, wide vertical disc spinner going up against a more compact drum and wedge sort of multi-bot configuration.
4,
it's going to be interesting to see who starts winning that ground game and what sort of games the multi-bot plays here. See Blue Marlin coming out aggressive. Big first hit sends them both flying. And Thunderbolt coming in trying to take advantage, but is getting pinned behind the house robot here.
Yeah, really scary place to be.
Blue Marlin, though, getting pinned by Thunderbolt's second wedge component. Real good teamwork here, getting underneath them and coming in with the hit.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful strategy executed by a multi-bot configuration. We've been seeing it all day. The days of chaos and friendly fire are over. It is all about coordinated attacks now. Look at that
these
shot.
Hits are massive. Everyone is going flying, and they keep going.
Blue Marlin right back at it, trying to get that weapon into the side rails of Blue Marlin.
Blue Marlin here just seems to be ignoring Thunderbolt's wedge bot and going after the drum bot entirely. Another huge hit, sending Blue Marlin flying.
It might be smart to try to avoid going head-to-head with that thing. They've only got that slope in the front.
Seems like Blue Marlin has lost their left side drive, and their right side drive is stuck now on Thunderbolt's Mini. But Thunderbolt's drum robot also has lost half of their drive.
Yeah, these robots have taken massive hits already in this fight. We're not even halfway through yet.
Yeah, it has been massive hits. You can hear the spinners spun up. Just waiting for another big bang to send them both flying across the arena. Having a little bit of targeting issues here on both sides. Thunderbolt with a bit more maneuverability than Blue Marlin, which is making it more difficult for Blue Marlin to connect with that weapon. Thunderbolt's weapon seems to be down. The later we get into this tournament, the more attrition and damage the robots are going to be collecting.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at this grind against the drum there.
This has been a fairly tight fight so far. I haven't seen Thunderbolt's second component in a while, and that damage could count significantly if it goes to judge's decision.
Absolutely.
So, you know, there is no distinction between, you know, mini bot and main bot in terms of damage. You know, if one of your robots is broken, that's pretty much 50% damage. So you don't want to go into a judge's decision with the second half of your multi-bots not moving.
Beautiful pin there by Thunderbolt. Really impressive with their limited mobility in this part of the fight.
Yeah, really good driving here on one wheel. That is not easy to do, but Blue Marlin is really getting it dialed in as this fight goes, learning how that robot moves with one wheel. Staying aggressive here at the end.
All right, that is the end of this fight. This one will go to the judges. Not how anybody wanted this fight to end, but I'd say they both did really well.
Yeah, pretty back and forth there. Difficult one to call.
Judges will decide who goes into the semifinals in the next round.
Yeah, certainly tough when both robots are having... Certainly tough when both robots are having mobility issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the one with the weapon have a little bit more mobility trying to chase after the one with, it's hard. It's hard to get the connection there, and yeah, we'll see. There were some big hits early, though. It was interesting as Blue Marlin seem to be sending themselves flying over and over again.
Look at that hit. End over end flips from both opponents at that hit. Bam. Ooh. And nobody's drive was really the same after that.
Now that last big impact definitely had an effect.
Two really powerful competitors, but only one will move on into the semifinals round, and we will find out who that is from the judges shortly. A little bit of anxiety on both sides of the cage.
Do you find it more stressful prior to the fight or awaiting for the judge's decision?
Oh, I hate waiting for a judge's decision. It is the absolute worst. And
yeah.
I swear every time it takes about an hour and a half for the decision to come in. Yeah.
That's an hour and a half in feel or
well, yeah, I
actual...
mean, they tell me that it's only a few minutes, but it's definitely an hour and a half when you're standing there.
Yeah, that makes sense. Perception is 9/10 of reality when it comes to that stuff, and that is just so much anxiety.
That's why sometimes it's nice to just get knocked out. You know where you stand.
Everyone likes a good knockout. It's easy.
Yeah, other people don't let it go to the judges because they're not sure how the decision's going to go. Don't let it go to the judges because you just don't want to wait.
No, it's terrible.
You got stuff to do.
It's taking years off my life.
An hour and a half at a time.
Yeah.
Wow, so we
Ooh.
just found out that the YouTube poll is actually 50-50 on that fight. I am not surprised.
See that often.
Yeah, no, this is split down the middle. I would not be surprised if this was also a split judge's decision. We'll have to we'll see how that ends up going, but this is a tight one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have 3 judges that are watching these fights, and they're going to score them on damage, control, and aggression. So that is how these robots are being judged against one another.
Yeah. And that damage to the second half of the robot can really count a lot in these situations. Sometimes, you know, when you're watching the fight, you kind of don't pay attention to that. Say, oh, that's just the mini bot, but it can count a lot in these judges' decisions. That's the risk you take when you get that weight bonus and run a multi-bot, is that it does count in the judges' decisions if you lose to damage on that second part of your robot.
Absolutely. That second robot on your squad has its advantages, but it does not come without disadvantages as well.
Yeah, so we'll see how it pays off for them there. That was a close fight. I'm excited for this next fight coming up. Looks like we've got BattleTots over there.
Oh, yeah. So the next fight in the 12-pound bracket is going to be Void versus BattleTots. The winner of that fight will actually go on to face the winner of this most recent fight, be that Thunderbolt or Blue Marlin.
Yeah.
Which is currently being deliberated by the judges.
This is a very scary side of the bracket. A lot of hard hitters.
BattleTots has been very impressive tonight. You know, completely original design. Very, very nice to see such originality with the shapes of the robots. But,
oh, that's funny. All right, so we're going to go back to the cage over here for the deliberation.
Oh, all right.
Okay, your winner, Blue Marlin by judge's decision.
Blue Marlin takes it.
Moving on to the semifinals. Congratulations.
A unanimous one at that.
The relief when that you get that decision that comes in. I think, you know, the damage to the second half of the robot probably swung it there.
Yeah.
In such a close fight.
So in cage one now we've got Void and BattleTots.
5, 4.
And this match is about to get underway.
2, 1.
Fight, robots, fight.
It's really difficult in this situation as a single robot to come up against the multi-bot of two similar-sized robots. Of course, BattleTots each is smaller than Void, but not by much.
Not by much. No, Void is a very
Void
small
is
robot.
coming out and just destroying.
This is where you see the weight discrepancy really come to play. Void, brought to you by Trevor Summer. He's a veteran in this sport. He's brought about very similar to Scurryfest. It's like basically a clone. Super powerful spinner on it.
Dominant performance by Void, but they come in and flip half of BattleTots back, and they seem to have lost a bit of their drive when they did that.
Yeah, that left side is not happy, but it doesn't matter at this point if no one else in the arena is moving.
Well, now Void can't move, but I think they were moving enough that it wouldn't be a double count out, but I don't know what they're saying now, because that was an interesting end there.
Yeah, a lot of explosive kinetic energy in that fight. A little bit of a twitch from one of the BattleTots weapons right there, but not enough to get any movement out of it. Knockout indeed. Your winner, I believe, is Void.
Yeah, wow. Cutting
Nice
it close
job,
at the end there.
Trevor and Team Defective.
But what a start to that fight.
That first hit.
Came out, just knocked the frog immediately, and then knocked Same Force into another dimension.
So that means Void will be going on to the next round to face off against Blue Marlin.
Whew. I would not want to beat Blue Marlin after seeing that.
All right, look at that hit.
You don't even see the frog in the highlights. It happened so fast. Wow. Did that hit the ceiling?
I think it might have. Let's see.
Woo,
Oh,
came
certainly.
close. Oh, boy. What a hit. No coming back from that.
Whew.
That was absolutely an impressive showing.
Yep, and no need for a JD on that one. Nice and simple knockout.
Nice and simple.
It could have been simpler with the lack of mobility at the end, but enough.
Yeah.
So that's the end of BattleTots for this event, but we are going to be seeing them through the rest of the season. Kevin told us earlier today that his plan is to build more of that style of robot and interchange them based on who his opponent is throughout the rest of the year. And that's a strategy in that weight class, which I think is fascinating, and it might work out really, really well for him.
That's definitely cool. It's something we saw something similar last season with the loophole style robots that would bring in different robots as their partners.
Yep.
And it's cool that we're seeing it in the 12-pound class now.
And they're all going to be custom built for that purpose in that weight class, which is slightly different than Loophole, which was kind of pulling from the existing pool of robots. So that's going to be very cool. I'm excited to see it, and Kevin is really excited about the strategy. He's got all kinds of plans. So yeah, this is just the first iteration. We're going to see some weird stuff going forward from them.
Yeah, there's been some slight tweaks to the wheeled multi-bot rules. I think that are going to encourage more of these kind of half and half style true multi-bot teamwork robots. They've been interesting to see fight today.
All right, so let's check in at cage 4. We've got a honey-cracked match. Okay, so both from Team Honeycrack, we've got BumbleBlitz in the pink corner and Energizer in the blue.
These bots have been absolutely dominant all day. BumbleBlitz is a beautiful overhead attack robot, and Energizer is the scariest robot I have ever seen built by Team Honeycrack. It is absolutely vicious.
Two of my favorite robots so far today fighting, at least the scariest robots so far today fighting. You see the two smaller halves fighting each other, the two bigger halves fighting each other.
Oh, that weapon on Energizer is terrifying.
A lot of power in there, and it just keeps going and going and going. BumbleBlitz has pushed Energizer up against the rail and is now taking out the other half.
Yeah, taking out the two multi-bot configurations. Really smart idea.
Listen to that weapon spin up to full speed as they attempt to vibrate off the wall. They don't want to use their unstick, but
Not
they
in the
might
first
have
minute
to.
of the fight, but they're probably going to end up having to.
Ooh. BumbleBlitz getting stuck in its own forks there. They got to be careful. Here comes Energizer.
Energizer's weapon is a hub motor.
Energizer has to be careful bouncing around the box like this now. They don't have any more unsticks. If they get stuck again, that'll be the fight.
Ooh, beautiful shot into the bottom plate by BumbleBlitz. It didn't look like the weapon was spinning at that point, though.
No, that is the shot that BumbleBlitz wants, and they were unable to take advantage of it. There is no spin in that weapon.
Yeah, BumbleBlitz also running a hub-style spinner. That motor is directly mounted to it, you can see there, but there's no action coming from that weapon at all. Energizer very well could have a weapon, but since they're upside down, they're not attempting to spin it.
One of the hardest parts of designing a hammer saw style weapon is keeping the saw spinning. It's in a very difficult spot, very exposed, and you're just whacking it into things. Keeping it spinning is really difficult, and that's sort of what separates the best of the best in the hammer saw world. But it seems like maybe BumbleBlitz will pull it out here, and they've got the weapon spinning again.
Yeah, weapon's back. And they, ooh.
Oh-ho.
Spending that time going after the multi, which is probably smart. The multi is their plan for self-riding. Nice lift there from the little bot.
What a cacophony of robots here piled on top of each other in the corner. Everyone's yellow. It's hard to tell who's who.
Yeah, it is fun putting all of the Honeycrack team together. You just have that beautiful, bright color scheme.
I wonder how many times they've practiced this fight in their test box.
That's the beautiful thing about this team. They have that full-size test box back at their school. They are able to do a full testing on all of these bots. And apparently BumbleBlitz has been in that test box like non-stop for the past month, really trying to get this bot dialed in.
Seems to be working out for them.
Yeah, it does seem like BumbleBlitz is going to pull this out. I think it's going to go to the judges, but you know, Energizer has just been unable to get much going in this fight.
Absolutely.
As BumbleBlitz just continues to play with the mini-bots.
All right, that's the match. It's going to be going to the judges.
I gotta say, Liam and BumbleBlitz did a phenomenal job really keeping Zoe on her head, unable to get that bot into a fully prone position where they're able to attack. And you can tell Zoe's pretty disappointed in that performance.
Yeah, I mean, that's not how you want to go out and perform. You just be stuck upside down almost the whole fight. It's a disappointing way to most likely end your run, but no matter what, the team wins.
Especially when you know you could one-shot kill an opponent with that weapon and you just can't do it, that's got to be so frustrating.
Yeah.
I wonder if the forks came into play. With BumbleBlitz running the steel forks, pretty traditional, but Energizer seems to have like a TPU-style baleen sort of fork system.
Yeah. Well, to see on the replay, what was it that originally kind of caused the flip and how that ended up happening. But yeah, they just weren't able to come back from that.
Doing a little demonstration here just to show what's working on the bot and what's not before they take it out of the box.
Yeah, the function check is important for the judges to know, what is damaged, what isn't damaged before it goes into the judge's decision.
So while we wait for the judges on this one, let's go ahead and check upstairs and see how things are going in the pits with Luke.
Hey everybody, I'm here with Andy Russell, who's here all the way from the UK. That's like what, like a 12, 15-hour flight?
actually only 7 hours. So
Oh, all right.
So I kind of...
Okay, I don't feel sorry for you anymore, Andy. All right.
It always feels like a long time, and then I realised a lot of people here drive further than that. So
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
That's true.
Yeah.
Now you're here with Nitro-Oxide. Now we didn't get to see Nitro-Oxide in the first round because your first opponent forfeited.
Yeah.
Now it looks like in the bracket you're going to be facing a hammer saw for round 2 with the team behind the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. Now, you know, taking a look at that matchup, what is your strategy going in against a hammer saw?
So I've actually never fought a hammer saw with this robot before, so it'll be quite interesting. A bit scary. We've got some like pretty good top armor, but the robot's very compact. So like, if he dents the top, he's probably gonna like hit, the electronics. So it's basically to be offensive and proactive, really, I think, and just kind of not really give him a chance to use his weapon. That's the plan.
Now, for fans of NHRL, they know you for Semtex, which was this absolutely brutal Minotaur-esque robot that ran last year. I will tell you, the sound of your weapon is seared into my memory permanently, and this is a scaled-up Semtex.
Yeah, so Semtex kind of came first. I was like, this is really fun to use, because I always love, like, you know, like loud, fast drums, like really solid, small robots. So, yeah, it's a similar kind of vibe to Semtex. It's a bit more advanced than Semtex. I've kind of learned quite a lot from Semtex and from other weight classes. And also my other, 30-pound robots in the past, because we do quite a lot of 30-pound robots in the UK. It's quite a big class there. So I've learned from them and kind of scaled it up. And yeah, so far it's been working quite well.
Now, Nitro-Oxide, this is going to be its 4th career event. Now, you've won the last 3, which is quite a record to bring to Newbot's, event here at NHRL. So, you've got a legacy to uphold here.
Yeah, so it's been fairly successful so far in the UK. I'm having a few gremlins today on the drive, which is, so I don't think it's its normal self right now. So I'm hoping I can fix it more for the next fight. But yeah, that's the plan.
Final question. Tell me, what is it about NHRL that has you flying, I guess, apparently, 6 or 7 hours, here across the pond to come and compete?
Well, I think it's just because the streams are always great to watch. I always like watching the streams when I'm not here. And it's just good to, we have so many strong robots. It's just great to fight kind of some of the best in the world, really. And it's just such a good kind of atmosphere and like vibe in the pits and the whole facility. So it's just, it's a bit expensive and hard to come over, but it's every now and again it's a nice treat because it's just really fun every time.
Well, every single British fan is cheering for you, and best of luck in your next round. We'll see you down on the desk.
Cheers.
Awesome. Love all the international competitors, but let's see, BumbleBlitz took that honeycrack fight, sending Energizer home.
Congratulations to Liam King and BumbleBlitz for a phenomenal performance against team captain Zoe and Energizer.
Yeah. Congrats
but in the
to whole
meantime,
team.
let's go over to Cage 1.
And in Cage 1, we have Questionable Choices and Synthesis 12.
Questionable Choices has been doing phenomenally all day. It's one of those robots that, they named it that, but why? It's been doing
5,
really well.
4,
they haven't made many
3,
questionable choices.
2 fairly similar robots going up against each other. One with a slightly bigger, thinner vertical disc than the other. You can see it's kind of who gets under who here.
Now, Corey has done phenomenally with the synthesis style of robot in other weight classes. It's nice to see him making a jump into this division.
Synthesis 12 seems to be getting the better of it early on. Questionable Choices spending more time upside down, but a good hit there.
Yeah, that
looks
was
like
nice
it just
right there. Wow.
wrecked most of the mini of Synthesis 12.
Synthesis trying to escape to get a little bit of their bearings, but then caught on the mini-bot.
Tangled on their own teammates. That is not what you want to do. A pin from Questionable Choices here.
And pins are only allowed to be held for 10 seconds, but they do give you a lot of control points. They show that you're really controlling the fight.
And then right back in with the aggression. Both bots being pretty aggressive here. Oh, wow.
I've got some questions about Synthesis weapon reliability right now, because, you know, it's on the floor! Wow! Beautiful hit by questionable choices there. I gotta say, that's a bit of an upset. They'll be going on to face BumbleBlitz in the next round.
Yeah, that was a bit surprising. I was not expecting the weapon to fall off of Synthesis 12. They have been going ham all day, and that was not how I thought their day would end.
No, that was amazing. Mark Liu, questionable choices, going to be moving on into the next round. Beautiful shot there.
Maybe the name is implying that their opponents have made questionable choices. Did their weapon... Oh, no, their weapon's still attacked.
Yeah, their weapon's still fine. It's all good. But you can see, I mean, it is a new bots event, right? You got to get those new gremlins out, and this is a new weight class for Corey, so he might not have the proper material choices or hardware choices kind of dialed in yet. Hence, the weapon is lying on the floor when it should be on the bot.
It does seem like some questionable choices were made in the mounting of that weapon, but I'm sure he'll get it dialed in.
Yeah, I mean, we have seen Corey just absolutely dominate in other weight classes, but it does take him a while to get those bots really dialed in.
Yeah, he was doing well early in this fight, took a few hits, and the weapon just popped off on the last one. Here it is.
Yeah, understandable tap out there. If you got no weapon and you don't know what actually failed, tap out.
Direct hit while upside down. Kind of an awkward angle to be hit at, probably applying forces not in the way they were expecting when they designed it.
Yeah.
And then off it comes. Yeah, understandable tap out.
Understandable tap out. Save that bot for another day. It's only January.
I don't know about tapping out when you're done with the tournament. You never know what could happen, but
it's a good point. We've seen a lot of surprises throughout the day today with bots coming back from the brink when their opponent suddenly lights on fire. So, I mean, you do never know.
All right, so let's check in with Lindsay upstairs in the pits. Hi, Lindsay.
Hi, Sam. I wanted to share a prediction poll that we ran just before that match with Synthesis 12 and questionable choices. So 64% of the audience actually thought that Synthesis was going to win that. That's a pretty good margin. I know that Corey has a lot of name recognition. Synthesis obviously is, at least at the 3-pound level, an instant icon after that Booty Brigade fight last year. So I think that there is a lot of hopes running on Synthesis, but questionable choices has been doing so well, and that hit was really massive. So I don't know, you know, if you want to share that you had any predictions, maybe, you know, you're not allowed to. That might.
No, I most assuredly thought Synthesis was going to win that. I have no problem saying it. I mean, absolutely, Corey's done phenomenally over the past few months. He's been on a heater lately. It's really surprising to see him go down in that matchup.
Yeah. This is why I don't make predictions.
Yeah, amen. Especially in this sport. It's a terrible idea. It's always going to bite you in the butt. There's just no reason to do that. By the way, I'd also like to point out how funny it is in this sport that we know that Synthesis is good because of a win against Booty Brigade.
It was quite an
The terror invoked by that name, you know?
All right, let's check in with Luke upstairs.
Hey everybody, I am upstairs with a super fan named Aaron. Now Aaron, you're not competing today. I did see you down in the stands. I am curious, you know, you've caught a lot of the action today. Do you have any favorites from the robots that you've seen today in the roster?
I would say, you know, everybody on the internet's like, oh, just put a drill bit on and drill into the opponent. I got to see that happen today. Kokoto pulled that off. I forget his robot's name, but I saw a drill bit go through a robot into a battery. So always entertaining to see. I like new stuff. And then also hot glue, just splooging hot glue on the opponent. So that's Chris, your main man, Chris.
I feel like we saw a lot of things today that people had only dreamt about before. Like I saw a Ryobi Air, like a nail gun that was designed to high center opponents. That's pretty cool. You know, we were supposed to have a flying cannon robot here today, but
had not heard of that one.
They dropped out at the last minute, sadly, RIP. You know, like that's really the spirit of the new bots event, right?
Yeah. Having the proper avenue to come and try something out against a whole lot of other also new robots, you don't get it elsewhere. You can show up with something new and you got to perform right off the bat at so many other places, and you still got to here too, but It's a different playing field. It's a weird shaped playing field, but I'm so happy it exists. So.
Well, we're on YouTube. We're not allowed to swear, but that's fine. Now, Aaron, the most amazing thing is that you live in California. You flew out specifically just to watch here in the stands. Amazing.
I'm actually headed on a vacation, and it was convenient. I'm headed to the UK. So it's like, all right, what's a good way to start a vacation? Watch some robots, and then carry on. So I live in California, yes. So I'm stopping over in Boston, come here, see some robots, carry on, meet up with some robot friends. It's kind of a giant community, it's a problem.
Well, I want to thank you for demonetizing us tonight. We're going to go back down to the desk.
Thank you, Luke, and thank you, Aaron. Let's go ahead and check in Cage 2 for our first 3-pound fight of prime time, where we have Repeater and Rewind.
This is going to be fun to call. You know, just a little repeat, rewind action.
Aaron trying to pretend like he didn't just fly out for this event. Come on.
I mean, he kind of did. Listen, I just love that he's, you know, jumping onto our stream using vulgarities.
Fight. Robots fight.
All right, so Repeater are these two very identical bots with Repeat Robotics components, hence the name Repeater. And Rewind, you can see just a gorgeous claw-style lifter bot.
Rewind, a great control bot, been putting on a clinic in control today, but in this fight is just getting beat up by Repeater. This is a tough bot to go against for them.
If you had to go against a multi-bot configuration like this with this style of robot, I mean, what would the strategy be? Would you try to focus on one?
I think you got to pick one to go after. Try to take it out as quick as possible and ignore the other. If you concentrate on both, you're just going to freeze yourself because you're not going to know where to go.
Yeah, I mean, that makes perfect sense. You got to disable one and then maybe be able to turn your attention to the other, but you got to score those points on the one.
Of course, they're going to count on you doing that and try and come in from behind like they're doing there. It's a tough spot to be in, but Repeater coming back here in the second minute of this fight, Rewind coming back here, and Repeater just going flying. Oh, we saw Rewind get stuck like this earlier in the day, but they're able to unstick themselves.
Now, Repeater, the team captain of this is Ryan Liu, but you can see Peter Gardosh is driving there next to him. Peter with his custom sitting by the side of the box, chill out style.
There's so much going on. Every so often, Repeater just sends themselves flying.
I was going to say, we haven't seen a lot of really high-level coordination between these bots today. They both just hit so hard that they've been able to kind of make it work.
That was a little bit of sandwich action there.
That was nice. But it also could have very quickly turned into friendly fire. You know what I mean? There's a thin line when you're doing these multi-bot configurations.
They are so fast, it has got to be difficult to keep them from running into each other.
Absolutely. Now, on the other side is Rewind, a absolutely supreme control bot, but unable to get any sort of traction here.
Yeah, Rewind seems to be stuck in an awkward position. I think they're calling for an unstick here. Oh, and there they go. They got the unstick from Repeater. That still counts. They won't get any more unsticks.
Yeah, they called for it. They got it. They just got it aggressively.
Ooh, not a good spot to be in. Repeater lining up for the hit, but Rewind able to get over without much happening.
Yeah, beautiful work there.
Sending half of Repeater flying, but the other half comes in for the hit.
Sam Pierce, captain of Rewind.
No matter where Rewind goes, Repeater is there to hit them.
And there's not really a speed advantage on Rewind at all. So that's been their big winning point all day, their ability to kind of get around to the different points of their opponent. Both of these bots seem to be just as fast.
The speed in the box right now is unbelievable. It's almost like watching this fight on fast forward.
It absolutely looks that way. And there we go. Rewind is upside down yet again.
That is not how you want to end the fight, leaving an image of your robot upside down as the judges go to decide who wins.
I always forget how giant Peter Garnash is until he stands up out of that chair.
Well, an impressively driven fight from both sides. I do think we're going to see Repeater come away with the victory here.
Absolutely. Congratulations to them. I do believe that's how that's going to end up going. But Sam Pierce, driving clinics all day long, did phenomenally. Can't wait to see that bot later on this year.
I believe Sam was the first to turn off a house bot with Fragment. I think
remember that? Yeah.
tremendous driving, tremendous control all day. I think Rewind can go home and they can be happy about the performance here today. And Repeater, just a really tough matchup for them. And Repeater executed pretty near perfectly throughout the fight. Some issues running into each other, but nothing that caused any lasting damage. They'll be able to go into the next fight pretty much at 100%, looks like.
Yeah, durable robots can take a little bit of friendly fire and be A-okay.
All right. Yeah, that relentless
All right, so
aggression.
while the judges are deliberating on that one, I just wanted to let the folks in-house know that this is your last call for alcohol, so make sure you head on over to the bar and tip the bartender.
Oh, by the way,
I'll be
we
right
have
back.
alcohol here. We have alcohol here. It's a really great event to actually show up to. There's just a lot going on. You can get really great food at the food trucks. You can get custom drinks made for you. There's a really nice beer. What are they? The brewery that shows up here?
Space Cat from nearby comes by. Okay.
Oh my goodness, there it is. So your winner is Repeater.
No surprises there. Great fight.
Nice job from the Repeat Robotics team. Well done, fellas.
Congrats to both teams putting on a great fight, entertaining for the crowd.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see Repeater go into the next round.
All right, let's go ahead to Cage 3, where Corey Nason is back, this time with Catalyst, and he's up against Winx.
The winner of this matchup will go on to face Repeater in the semifinals round.
Catalyst has looked really impressive
all day.
Winx won a fight today, really interesting one, kind of come from behind win.
5, 4.
Yeah, Winx started off the day with a lot of mobility issues. They've dialed that in and have been put on pretty good matches since then.
Oh, huge hit out of the gate.
Wow, Catalyst weapon so hard, actually sending themselves careening around the box.
And Catalyst doing the thing a little bit, but able to get back on their feet.
Yeah,
Winx
just enough torque.
in an awkward position. No!
Oh, no. That's the entire side rail, and that is a tap out, understandably so. That was a whole lot of that side of the bot completely disassembled.
Incredible destruction.
All of the gearboxes on the side, the belts on the side. Look at Corey freaking out.
And Catalyst looks unscathed, backs up to the door.
Yeah, even after careening around the box for a good 4 seconds there, it's just fine. Just backs up to the door, no issues.
I can't even say they broke Winx in half. The other half is just disintegrated.
Yeah, it's rather graphic.
Whew. We're gonna get a warning on the YouTube. Contains graphic content after that one. Watch this hit at the end when they come in and just explode. Winx.
So Winx brought by Zachary Smentowski. He's from Rose Holman Institute and built a beautiful robot. Did great today, but definitely could not hold up against Corey Nason's assault there. That was amazing, and that's a weight class that Corey knows what he's doing in.
Yeah, I mean, you can be proud. Anyone who makes it to this stage of this tournament can be proud about making it here. So no shame in getting destroyed at this point, and that's what the fans tune in for, is that kind of destruction.
Yeah, that was amazing.
That was something.
All right, folks, let's go ahead and check up in the pits where we have Luke and Nate Franklin.
Hey everybody, I am here with the builder whose name should strike fear into the hearts of every single builder on the East Coast who's faced him. You faced basically everyone at this point. This is Nate Franklin. Now Nate, you are making your full NHRL debut. You did appear here in the finals where you won, alongside, the winning team. Tell me a little bit more about your debut with a kinetic weapon robot.
So I had like a few ideas tossed around. Like part of me wanted to do, I'll just do like a control bot. But then I watched a lot of like cool spinners and I thought, I need to do something like that. So I floated around a few ideas, but then I went with a 4-wheel drive drum bot. So I felt like it would be the next evolution of Thunderchild.
Now, when I was seeing Drumderchild, I saw the same kind of aggressive drive style that I typically see from Thunderchild. How did you design that, so that you had similar drives between the two robots?
So the drive is like somewhat similar in just that like the same visually, it's like almost identical. Like if you were to put Thunder Child Light dimensions wise. But I view this more as like a transitional bot, sort of where it doesn't have like the hardest like kinetic energy, so it's not something like Polywog, which was a major influence where it like gyros a bit. So this is sort of like getting used to like spinners, but I definitely want to work on it a lot and maybe like beef up the weapon, because this thing is like 4 ounces underweight, so I got a lot of weight to play with.
Now, Nate, the big thing that you're known for is that you are a control bot driver, and that this is, you're really stepping out of your element here. Like, are you permanently going to be going to kinetic robots now?
So I only have like 2 bots that are like control bots left. There's Thunderchild, and there's an Fairweight. Fairweight I just kind of have just to like have it. I feel like Thunderchild's like mission isn't complete yet. When it wins something big, I'll probably retire it, but I feel like for the most part, it's like what I want it to be. But this, I'm really excited to work on. There's like so many things I've learned and so many things I continue to learn. So I just can't wait to keep fighting with it.
Nate, you have a lot of fans, both here at NHRL and across the East Coast. Count me among one of them. You're a fantastic builder, a fantastic driver. I'm so glad that you're here. Back to you on the desk.
All right, very cool. Thank you, Luke, and thank you, Nate. Nate and I have been fighting for decades now.
I was going to say, I've been a fan of Nate Franklin since before NHRL was even a thing. Like, that guy's amazing. The fact that he's finally here and competing on his own as an individual competitor, amazing. I'm so happy to have him here, and he had a great run today.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was thinking earlier, I was really impressed with the performance of Nate's robot today, and then I was thinking, no, I probably should have known.
Yeah.
Should have seen that coming.
Now, who have you seen today that has really stood out to you? I mean, you had to have seen some people that are like, oh, that's a nice move that guy's got going on.
Yeah, I mean, I was a fan of a lot of these robots coming in. We are starting to see that more traditional designs maybe are bubbling to the top as we get into this part of the tournament. And we always expect that. So some of these big verts are looking good. Catalyst coming out right there. They got to be the favorites right now after that fight. That was incredible.
Yeah, that was amazing.
That's one of the most destructive fights, maybe the most destructive fight we've seen all night.
For sure.
So that's been looking really good today. I've just been really enjoying the prevalence of the kind of cam lifters, the active forks. We've been seeing a lot of those around all the weight classes, used particularly well on Moccasin to kind of prop robots up for their high torque lifter. So the active forks have been nice to see. Interesting trends in terms of just more like true multi-bots in all the weight classes. I think last year we saw a lot of those in the Beetle class, but now we're seeing more in the 12s, which is cool to see when that works. This is fun.
And added complexity in the 12s, too. We've seen a lot more hub motors. We've seen just a lot more really thoughtful design put into that weight class.
Yeah, you're seeing progression of technology from the 3-pounders up into the 12s. Hub motors and everything have just been how you build 3s, but it was hard to build bigger weight class robots with that technology. You're seeing 12s, hub motors, 3D prints, etc. You're even starting to see that bubble up into the 30s a bit.
Yeah.
It's really taking the forefront in the 12s today.
Yeah, absolutely. Phenomenal matchups in that 12-pound division. I'm really excited to see how that final turns out. It's interesting, this split that we're seeing kind of in the 12-pound division between the 2 brackets. You have the blue Marlins and Voids up at the top of the bracket where you see just the big hits, the big massive hits, whereas down at the bottom you get a little bit more control, you get a little bit more wedge, you get a little bit more thought into how you're going to move the opponent around the arena. So that final is going to turn out to be really interesting no matter which way it goes.
Yeah, these next fights are going to be all out. Nobody's going to be holding back at all in these semifinals, because you win the semifinal, you're in the championships.
Absolutely.
People are going to be going all out for that guaranteed championship spot.
Now, in the 30-pound bracket, we are going to see a very interesting kind of 2 sides of the bracket. We've got the control side of the bracket, and then we've got the high-energy side of the bracket. So we are going to see kind of a control bot versus a high-energy bot no matter what we do when we get to the end of that. Very interested to see how that goes. And quite frankly, we might never see Ricky on the desk today.
Yeah, and we might not we might not see him in championships either at the desk. Okay, so the 30-pound bracket powered by True Finals. Moccasin took it from Bedside. Crushfist took it from Budget Extinction. Excuse me. Nitro-Oxide over Crack. And Colossal Avian over Mr. Roper.
Great names tonight all around the brackets.
I appreciate that you add the question mark on Crack. Nicely done.
It's there.
It's part of the name. I think, you know, dark horse to win the 30s for me is Crushfist.
Really?
They could take it. They've been durable. They've been controlled.
They've already fought Moccasin at one point today, and they did not win.
Did not win. So we'll see if they can come back, if they can learn from that and take it through, because I've just been really impressed with them.
I'm going to be flying that Union Jack in that 30-pound division. I honest to God think Nitro-Oxide has got a great chance of winning the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's got to be the favorite.
Absolutely.
You know, you look at this bracket, I think that's going to be the one that would have the bet, or the worst odds, I guess, to bet on. You know?
Yeah,
the odds-on favorite.
For sure, odds-on favorite.
I'm rooting for Ricky. All right, let's go up to the pits and check in with Luke.
First generations of Peter Bars. They fought last January.
Oh, hi, it's me. Hello. I'm here with Peter Garnache, local entrepreneur extraordinaire, the inventor of the Peter Bar kit.
Yep.
Now, Peter, this is pretty close to a stock Peter Bar kit.
Yep.
Tell me, what makes a Peter Bar a Peter Bar?
So a Peter Bar is a term coined by one of my friends, and it has to do with a dual disc weapon that uses a 3D printed hub with standoffs through it just as the structure. It was something that I did on my Robot Ablation, which was pretty successful over about 100 career fights in 2 years. And so I turned it into a kit robot that people can buy and hopefully play with, iterate on, and get better.
Now, Peter, you've now sold dozens of these kits. Where can people get them?
You can get them from repeatrobotics.com.
Now, I feel like there's always like a kit that is super hot right now. Like, I feel like 2024 is the year of Peter Bar kits and SSP kits. You know, like, tell me, why is this such a dominant design?
It's a dominant design because it's relatively affordable. It has a spinning weapon that hits really hard, and the drivetrain is powered by my Repeat Max drive motors, which just keep on going and can outpush just about anyone out there.
I love it. Go and check it out. Repeat Robotics. Thanks, Peter.
Thank you.
That robot debuted exactly a year ago.
All right, let's head to cage 3, where we've got Scurryfest and Sir Spinny, a 3-pound action.
Scurryfest is a non-traditional locomotion robot. It actually shuffles. It does not have wheels.
Robots
that gets them a bit of a weight bonus in addition to the multi-bot weight bonus.
Absolutely, and it is a collaborative effort between Robert Rund and Miles Sim, two of the nicest guys you would ever want to meet, but they have brought some vicious robots to this competition.
Sir Spinny coming right out the gate, sending Scurryfest flying.
This is the first ever competition for Evan and Sir Spinny. He's like first robot, first competition, first everything, and he's been doing phenomenally today.
So you can see the second half of Scurryfest is that sort of wedged wheeled robot, and it's really getting under Sir Spinny, doing more actually than the heavier spinner component right now.
And by the way, if that wedge-wheeled robot does look familiar, that's because it is a Crushfist minus the sand shovel. Didn't have the weight for the sand shovel, but does have the weight for those vicious forks. Nice pin there, by the way.
Sir Spinny's second half seems to be non-motive right now. And that is not good if this makes it to a judge's decision.
Another beautiful pin. Man, Robert Rund putting in so much work for the Scurryfest team right now. Another pin.
Great teamwork here with the second half of Scurryfest really taking the lead, as the main horizontal spinner does not seem to be able to get great bite on Sir Spinny.
And that is the big advantage of a multi-bot. If one of your bots just doesn't have the right geometry to the fight, luckily you've got another option right there in the box.
Good hit from Sir Spinny on Scurryfest again. but just unable to get any control, any movement as that wedge robot is just all over them. Tremendous driving by that half of Scurryfest.
Yeah, nice pin. Robert Rund really knows what he is doing. The first ever non-kinetic bot to win in the 3-pound division here. All by himself.
And that's how one hit can start to change the game.
Absolutely. Look at the wheel on the back of Sir Spinny starting to unravel, just unspool before our eyes.
It looks like maybe that's coming off.
Yeah, no, it is slowly kind of melting off of the hub.
Oh.
Yeah, look at that.
That's not good. Now, I do think they are going to make it to the bell here, but this fight has been pretty much all Scurryfest, start to finish.
Yeah, absolutely, and you can see the actual Scurry portion of Scurryfest getting in and getting some hits there before the end. You got to show those judges damage and control if you want to lock that fight in.
Wow, impressive performance by Scurryfest, and surprisingly dominant there.
All right, that one's going to go to the judges.
Yeah, I expected to see a little bit more from Sir Spinny, but they were just unable to get going in the relentless aggression of Scurryfest.
Really smothering style.
Yeah, smothering is a great word. That's exactly what it was, and that's a hard style to fight against. When you're losing that ground game like that, what do? It's just hard to come back from, and they couldn't do it this time, and Scurryfest is going to take that one.
When that happens, do you think it's best to kind of make space between you and an opponent, even though that might detract from your maybe control or aggression
I think
points?
that's what you have to try. You have to take that risk, because obviously you can't just sit there and get shoved around the whole time. You're losing that ground game. You've got to try and make space, but then that's also just going to sort of play into it. That's what they want you to do. And when that's the advantage that winning that ground game can get you, I think what they really needed was help from their other half. But early on, Scurryfest was able to disable Sir Spinny's kind of second half, their little wedge lifter. And without that robot, that allowed Scurryfest to just concentrate entirely on the main larger drum robot of Sir Spinny. And then there was no coming back from that. That would have taken a lot of luck.
Yeah.
All right, while we wait for the judges on this one, let's go ahead and head upstairs with Luke and someone tall.
Yeah, listen, I'm an average height, okay? I've just managed to find the tallest builders here tonight. Fantastic. This is Tristan Hart. Tristan, you're the builder of Whisket, which had an absolutely amazing NHRL debut. This is an incredible robot. Tell me more about Whisket.
So Whisket is a 3-pounder. It has a hub motor, beater bar. It's 2-wheel drive, and it is, I'm really happy with it. It's got an impactor on the front, one tooth, a counterweight so that we can actually balance it, and it did really well in my opinion, and I'm really happy with how it turned out.
When I was seeing your fights, what I really saw was super aggressive driving, really precise driving. How did you hone in your driving?
I didn't. I had no time to practice this at all. We finished this robot as we got here, and the first time I drove Whisket at Backwoods in Tennessee, problem with it is it wasn't able to self-right because it was dragging on the weapon guard, or on the motor guard, around the sides.
Now, you're a member of the Rose Holman team. Now, tell me more about this team. I feel like you've burst onto the scene with totally developed, super custom robots. Tell me, like, how is your program structured? How big is it? What do you do?
So we have about 35 members on our team. It's part of a bigger robotics team, and we have about 12 robots, including a mini-bot, that are all worked on by different sub-teams on our team. And we all get basically free range to build our robots how we want, and it lets a lot of people be really creative. We started this year with a plastic ant competition that was totally free for anybody to join, and that helped a lot with how we we kept a lot of members around, and that's why we have 28 members here and 35 members total, active members. So yeah.
Fantastic. Rose Holman has really made an impact here on this competition, coming right out of the gates, just roaring. I cannot wait to see your return to NHRL. Now, just very quickly, wow, I have like a totally new perspective. This is fantastic. I think I should try and grow a little bit more.
Try it. It's great.
Good. All right, back to you on the desk.
Oh, you think that, Luke, until you start bonking your head on every door frame. All right, so the decision from that last fight, the Scurryfest fight.
Not a surprise here. Scurryfest is your winner. Nice job, Scurryfest. So Robert Rund and Miles Sims will be moving on into the next round. Wonderful job.
Congrats on just a dominant performance, coming out and putting on like a driving clinic right there. Taking out the second half of the bot early and then just running through.
So they will go on to face the winner of Twisted Sister versus Vapor Trail. They did need a 15-minute delay on that fight earlier, but it looks like they're in the box now, ready to go.
I think I see them.
We'll see if is the robot at 100%.
15 minutes is a lot.
It truly is, yeah. And you do get one extension, I believe, in this tournament, and that 15-minute extension, once you call for it, you don't get to do it again.
And that's new this year.
That is new this year.
I think the builders upstairs definitely appreciated that augmentation to the rules, because 15 minutes can make a huge difference. It can be the matter of getting into that fight or not.
Yeah, and it's good to have, just a nice objective amount of time. It's like, okay, I'm going to get 20. I have one 15-minute extra I can use. You can plan in advance and figure out what you want to do.
Here's a nice shot of Vapor Trail custom vertical spinner brought to you by Johnny Sumpas from the Bahamas.
Just a really nice aesthetic on that robot. Nice looking wedge.
Yeah,
Great
and
shape.
Johnny's mostly known for horizontal spinners. Spartan is kind of his premier robot at this event. So it's cool to see him just branching out, trying something new, and having a lot of success with it today.
Speaking of new and successful, what do you guys think is going to come out of this tournament? What sort of things have we seen here for the first time today that will have legs and we'll see throughout the year, maybe beyond?
Cam lifters as an accessory.
Yes.
That is the big one. And hub motors. I think hub motors in the 12s.
Yep, and I think more like true multi-bots.
Yeah.
More in the larger weight classes.
Yeah.
I think the idea of coordinating your multi-bot attacks and really practicing that, especially with the amount of boxes that are now popping up all over the country, is going to become really prevalent. Because if you have a multi-bot but you're constantly hitting each other, you're not helping anybody. You know what I mean? It's not giving you any aid there.
We're really seeing the impact of some of those multi-bot rules that were implemented between the seasons, and I think it's for the better. It's been really interesting to watch some of this teamwork and really making sure that your second robot is part of the fight. Right? They can't just hold back.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Very cool. Yeah. I liked a lot of the stuff on two-factor annihilation as well. I think that would be cool. Some of it's a bit extra, and I don't know how useful the information really is, but some of that, the data that it logs throughout the fight, you can definitely dig in deep to that and learn from it.
Yep.
Yeah, the data can really be helpful because when you're designing these robots, the fight is 3 minutes long. You want to make sure that your robot lasts 3 minutes, and it doesn't really need to last any longer than that. So if you're looking at your data and you're seeing like temperature curves running up and your stuff is still all cold at the end, it probably means you've oversized everything. You don't want things cold at the end.
Yeah.
That means it's extra weight there.
Yeah.
So that sort of data logging can help you make sure that your robot is exactly the right size and is completely optimized.
That's good stuff. All right, Cage 2, let's go. Vapor Trail and Twisted Sister.
Now, Twisted Sister's brought to you by Devin Wright of Wright Robotics. It's a custom hub motor design, and it hits like a ton of bricks.
Big hits right out the gate.
Massive end-over-end impact of those two bots coming off of each other.
Wow.
Johnny desperately trying to get himself off the wall. You can do it, Johnny, but he is being stalked.
Chasing him down.
And now Johnny finally able to self-right. Twisted Sister not giving him much room to breathe, but Johnny able to get around to the side. Nice work.
Great driving here. There are bits and pieces. Wow, there are chunks flying around the arena. Is that an entire weapon? Is that half of a bot?
That is, it looks like the weapon assembly is missing. Johnny is freaking out over there. with a giant smile on his face. I mean, he's having a delightful time. But yeah, that bot doesn't have a weapon anymore.
Wow. But it's still moving. It's still going.
Whoa, and that's another belt that just flew back into the camera right there.
It might not still be moving. What
there
a
is
fight.
no tap out on Johnny.
I love Relentless.
He says, knock me out or count me out.
I can still move.
But I ain't going anywhere.
It's still good. It's still in this. He is still in this fight. You never know what's going to happen.
He has built this like the USM Titanic. It's all compartmentalized.
What?
The pieces are still moving.
This is outrageous. More of the robot is spilled around the arena than is still left moving around.
This is shades of the Terminator. You could just keep on shooting it. It won't die until you throw it into molten lava.
It's still going. This fight's going to end with a thumbs up disappearing into the floor of the arena. This is absolutely incredible.
Now,
I've never seen anything quite like this.
You see that the belt hanging off of Vapor Trail, that very well could foul up everything.
Boy, there's a motor that just came out. Bolts. And that could be it. That might have been the last motor.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, it's still spinning. The wheels are still spinning.
A front wheel there on the left side.
Unable to get traction. That's going to be a count out. But what a performance by Vapor Trail, which is now maybe mostly Vapor.
Amazing performance by Denver Wright and Wright Robotics, Twisted Sister, just beautiful, hard-hitting machine.
Tore him apart. Both robots can go home proud after that fight. That was an epic all-time fight.
Yeah, really amazing performance from Denver. That was really cool. I gotta tell you, Johnny's built a bot that can hit super hard. Maybe some durability could be added in, but that was amazing.
I have a technical judging question here. Now, if half your robot in the multi-bot can no longer move, it's considered knocked out. If half of your robot comes off, is it considered knocked out?
I don't know.
The
other half is moving.
But it's less than 50%. But look at the weapon assembly comes out. You think the fight's over. It's not. We're just getting started.
Yeah, the yard sale has just begun.
Yeah, the brooms are coming out after that one. Look at all of the debris all over that arena.
Does this count as arena fouling? Will there be a penalty for arena fouling?
How horrible would that be that you get penalized for arena fouling because your bot disintegrated all over the arena?
We would never. That was amazing.
Wow.
Oh, that was impressive. Well done, Johnny Sumpas, for just having no quit in him in that fight.
These fights just keep getting better.
Oh yeah, we're getting to the end. This is where all the good bots are staying. They're all coming out, and everybody's taking it very seriously. Listen, they've all got a chance to qualify at this point for the World Championships at the end of the year, for the Golden Breath, the biggest prize in combat robotics, and thousands of dollars for yourself, for your STEM charity of choice. I mean, there is huge stakes when it comes to this competition.
Absolutely. So let's check in with the 30-pounders, the big bots in this tournament, and see some highlights from earlier today. Some Moccasin bedside action.
Ow, yep, that's where you turn the multi-bot configuration into a weapon.
That was terrific. Whenever you can use a part of your opponent against them as a weapon, it's just, it's a little bit humiliating and impressive to do.
All right, so let's check in on that bracket powered by True Finals. These are the 30 pounds. Moccasin and Crushfist still in it. Nitro-Oxide and Colossal Avian as well. These are important matches. The winners will qualify for championship, and the losers will probably not.
Maybe?
Not this one at least, but there's some maths involved.
Still have to wait. They might get that wild card at the end of the year. We just won't know.
We don't know. It gets very
slot.
college football-y after this, guys. It gets a little weird. We'll figure it out.
Go to the computers. They got the algorithms. The coaches poll.
All right, let's go ahead and throw it back upstairs to Luke. Luke, what do you got for us up there, buddy?
Now, there are just 4 Beetleweights still alive in the bracket, and I'm standing next to one of them. Built by Corey Nason, this is Catalyst. Now, Corey, for fans of your robot Synthesis, you're going to say, looks kind of similar. Talk to us about the similarities.
So over the entire year of building and iterating on Synthesis, I wanted to try a couple things. However, with the great performance, I didn't want to just change something just to try it. So this is kind of all the test bed of everything I wanted to try in Synthesis without actually implementing it on Synthesis. It's 2-wheel drive. The motors aren't connected to the wheel, so it's going to keep them from getting shocked. The blade has a really large hook that's meant to really dig into plastics and TPUs, and the front end is all hard TPU, so it's just going to slice away but still maintain its strength. I'm actually really happy with the performance of Catalyst today.
Now, you were telling me earlier that in all of your previous matches, they've all been pretty fast. Is that right?
Yes. Generally, with the way that the blade is, it generally will hook into things and start ripping the robot apart. My average match time is between 15 and 25 seconds. The last one that I just fought was under 30 seconds, and I ripped the entire right side or left side drive out of the robot, and then they tapped out.
That is fantastic. You have just 2 fights left, keep doing what's working, Corey, and best of luck for the rest of the evening.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Back to you on the desk.
I just wanted to give a quick fun fact about Corey Nason. You look at Corey Nason, you look at how passionate he is about ripping robots in half, and you ask yourself, what does that man do for a living? Does he destroy heavy machinery? Is he operating a crusher machine? No, he's a nurse. He takes care of the sick. He takes care of the people who need help. He's a kind man with a thoughtful heart, and he just comes here to let out a little bit of that frustration, And he does it so well. I am in awe of that man. I absolutely love him. So I just wanted to throw out that little anecdote for y'all.
Nurses put up with a lot, so it's nice that he has this release here, and he can really just send some violence outward. All right, so let's go to cage 1, where we've got the 30-pounders with a Moccasin and Crushfist.
Yeah, this is the control bot side of the bracket. The winner of this fight will go on to the finals and have to fight one of the hardest hitters that we have here today, either Nitro-Oxide or Colossal Avian. I don't know, man. If I'm Moccasin, I think I would rather take on Nitro-Oxide, just because Colossal Avian can actually reach some pretty crucial parts of your bot. But neither of them are fun.
Yeah, that's a tough choice.
It's neither of them are fun.
Yeah, it is tough. I think Moccasin is really built to take on robots, drum-style robots, traditional compact verts.
Something they can really toss. Yeah.
That's really what it's designed for. This fight here is a little tricky. Now, they fought earlier today. Moccasin did come away with the win, but I wouldn't say it was necessarily a super clean win, I don't think. We'll see what happens here. Did Crushfist learn anything out of that fight? Are they going to be able to use that to their advantage?
Yeah, and Joey has really learned a lot about this robot throughout the day today. Crushfist is a very, very powerful robot. That lifter is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I believe he did get quite a few picks on Moccasin in that earlier fight. I think he learned a lot from that, and we're going to be able to see him kind of implement a better strategy.
There is several horsepower behind the lifter in Crushfist. It has a 400-to-1 reduction gearbox to get it geared down to speed to lift. And the entire robot is covered in AR 500. Every single exterior surface other than lifter arm is just solid AR 500. The lifter arm itself is layers of AR 500 and UHMW. That thing is a brick.
Well, they're both going to be hungry for this win with a qualification for World Championships on the line. So let's take out this tail of the tape with Ricky Willems and Moccasin from Baltimore, Maryland. He's got that rotary / cam lifter, 2 different styles in there, 34 inches of reach, and a record of 3-1. Joey Gannon on Crushfist, and he's got less reach.
Not much less, but less.
I don't think anyone else has that much reach.
No, that's an absurd amount of reach.
See, right out of the gate, trying to use that reach, trying to get a lift here.
It's like trying
Crushfist
to box a basketball player.
coming in with the fist up. That's a different approach than they took earlier today. We'll see if that can pay off, trying to snag pieces of Moccasin.
Yeah, is that a strategy, or did it just get stuck? Oh, nice toss there from Moccasin, launching Crushfist across the arena.
Moccasin definitely with the
That's
early.
a wheel. That's a wheel.
Oh,
That's supposed to be on the bot. That is a tap out. Ricky Williams did not come to play.
A dominant
That
performance.
means Moccasin, Ricky Williams qualifies for the World Championships. They are moving on to the final.
Dominant performance by Ricky and Moccasin there. I don't think even he seemed surprised by the tap out. Maybe he got a few accidental
Joey
late
was
hits in
surprised
there.
by the tap out.
that was weird.
That was weird. I don't know what happened. Was that an accidental tap out?
Was he surprised by the tap out? I thought maybe he was a little. I thought he was annoyed about maybe a couple late hits that happened.
Might have been.
After the tap out. But quick fight. Not how Moccasin usually wins.
No, that was just vicious. Well driven, dominant performance.
Yeah, you expect Ricky to come out and win sort of a control battle, toss you around relentlessly.
Get a judge's decision.
Yeah, that smothering style of judge's decision win. Not so here, coming out with a quick tap out.
Well, regardless of this drama that we see unfold before us, Moccasin is going to be moving on to the final. And they qualify for the World Championships at the end of the year.
Wow. Wow.
All right, Ricky.
Yeah, all right, Ricky. So that does tell us Ricky's probably not going to be joining us up here at the desk today. So good job, Ricky. Well done.
He really didn't want to come up here.
No. He said, you know what? That other guy's doing a great job. I'm just going to hang back.
Impressive. Securing a trip to the championships and a trip to the finals tonight. Could be going home with a golden dumpster.
He may not have been working tonight, but he's on the money now.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely impressive. Cam lifter's working beautifully. The rotary lifter working beautifully. All right. So we just heard Ricky was not able to hear the tap out. So there were some late hits there.
All right, so let's take a look at this. The tap out and the hit. See how it went down. So these are synced up.
So he's waving his hands.
Call for the tap out, and then a couple of hits here afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing too crazy. Yeah, that one's
that's
crazy.
a big one.
Oh, yeah, he says, stop.
You know.
I tapped out. Please stop.
Yeah, and it is hectic down here. I don't think Ricky did that on purpose. Ricky is a classy competitor, and sometimes you just cannot hear what's happening down here.
Let's keep this in mind too. That Ricky hasn't competed in NHRL in years at this point. I mean, he hasn't been in that box. He hasn't heard those noises. He doesn't know what those lights feel like. He's been here the entire time.
He's got to be careful. That could be one of those little demerits for a late hit.
He might get one, honestly. Yeah. I mean, he didn't hear anything. There is some deniability and excusability there, but yeah, that's rough.
I don't think he did it on purpose, but he probably did earn a demerit there. But what a fight! Impressive.
Very
hopefully,
cool.
Hopefully they can shake hands, make up for it at the end.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and check upstairs with Luke in the pits.
There are 4 12-pounders left, and Void here is one of them. Trevor is the builder of Void. Trevor, congratulations on making it to the Final Four. Fantastic. Void is one of these robots that we identified very early in the day as a real contender. This thing looks menacing. Tell us more about the design.
So the design took a lot from Zach Knight, who helped me out a ton. He's a great friend of mine. It's a kind of a play on his prom header design. What we did was we made it, I believe, 78% of the size and used a hub motor instead of his usual belt motor style on it. Those are the main differences we have. A lot smaller hub motor, hits hard, drives fast. works well.
Now, the thing that kind of floors me is that this just stock is an underweight robot, which gives you a lot of additional weight. How much weight do you have to play with different configurations?
Right now, with how it is set up right now, like as is, we still have another about pound to play with. That's with titanium armor, titanium bottom plate, titanium top plate, steel weapon, and a big piece of, I believe it's 3/8 inch steel on the back, just as extra armor because we had the weight to play with.
Awesome. Best of luck in the next round. On to you, Chris.
Hey, Luke. All right, so I'm here with Ricky Willems and Moccasin, who you just pulled out a victory against Joey and Crushfist. Tell us about the match, and what do you have coming up right now?
I don't think we've got a lot of repairs. The match was what I really hoped it would be, which is once Cody and I got a feel for how the robot drove, I feel like we could do a really bang-up job of doing things. It worked. We got we got the best hits we've had so far. Some good airtime. The cam lifters are working the way they're supposed to work now. So, yeah, I'm eager for the next fight. I don't know who wins that matchup. Forgive me for one of them is the matchup that we had earlier against the drum spinner. The other one is a robot I haven't even seen or heard of yet, so I got to go scout around.
It's one of the exciting parts about New Bots January is you really have absolutely no idea what's going on.
How would you possibly know? I did not expect to be here. This is working way better than anticipated. But you know,
folks want to know: Did you build this bot just to get out announcing today?
Oh no, that announcing is much easier than this is. Yeah, this is a lot of work. It really is, and everything crept up on me. There's such a higher degree of effort and preparation that goes into Norwalk now compared to Norwalk when I last competed. It's mind-blowing, and it's taxing. Like, my body hurts, my brain hurts, I'm tired. That is blood, sweat, and tears I wasn't planning on. So, you know, fingers crossed I'm alive going into this match, and then if it goes well, even better.
Well, good luck. Go get ready. It's all on the line. All right, back to you guys at the desk.
Well, now we find out who their opponent is going to be.
From a control battle to a high-energy kinetic spinner battle.
This is going to be good. So we've got Nitro-Oxide in the pink corner, and we've got Colossal Avian in the blue in cage 4. This is some 30-pound action.
I've been looking forward to this one.
5.
All right, so Andy Russell from the UK is bringing the drum. Nitro-Oxide and Colossal Avian from Urbana, Illinois with the hammer saw.
And that drum getting up to speed, absolutely terrifying. Look at that hit right onto the back plate of Colossal Avian, already taking flight across the arena.
Nitro-Oxide, good teamwork with the second bot getting in there, preventing Colossal Avian from doing anything.
Nasty hit. They are really taking advantage of that backplate hit. And look at that beautiful hit from Colossal Avian right on the top armor of Nitro-Oxide. Nitro-Oxide, though, angling for a position to get a hit while avoiding that hammer saw and landing it right there on the corner. Nicely done.
Oh, wow.
Came in for a second volley. This is going beautifully for him.
Mobility issues already for Colossal Avian.
How
and
could you not after those hits?
Non-stop, relentless.
Beautiful top attack there from Colossal Avian, but the weapon is not spinning. It does look like Nitro-Oxide is pinned against the wall, perhaps a piece of the wedge under the wall.
Are they stuck against the wall, or is something wrong with their drive? It seems like they're trying to wiggle.
They're wiggling. I think they might have one of their little forks stuck underneath.
Well, they should call for an unstick before they damage their drive trying to get out of here if they really are stuck.
No, I don't think it's happening. There's no lights on Flow.
No, yeah, they didn't. The Flow doesn't look like it's operating right now.
No.
This is the end, ladies and gentlemen. If they are not able to get
way
moving.
to go out. We have been seeing this all day in the lower weight classes with robots getting stuck under the wall, but we have not seen it at this scale yet, and wow, that would be disappointing.
It does happen at this weight class. I mean, if you can get underneath those wooden side rails and get stuck, it's a lot of weight.
That is the downside of ground scraping prongs. You have to be careful. Oh, so Fluffy got turned off on the first hit of this match.
Wow.
So on that hit that sent them flying, they turned off the bot, and that comes back to haunt them. What a surprising come from behind victory.
Wow.
It's a tough way to lose coming from the UK.
But wait a minute. Does that mean a competitor turned off Fluffy? Colossal turned it off.
Okay, so let's check what happened to the house bot in there. Fluffy started on.
And then, watch the weapon goes down and it turns off.
Guess what, folks? That's $1,000.
Yeah, I was about to say, there is a myth that if you turn off the house bot, you get $1,000, and that is not a myth. That is a fact.
I do think they should split that, but, you know, there was a little bit of an assist with the toss-up.
They just put them in the position.
Yeah.
They're the ones that turned it off, though.
Nitro-Oxide gets a big hit, and then what are the odds that it results in turning off the house robot you're going to need later?
What a series of events that sends you across the pond.
And this comes back to your point, you know, never tap out, because you never know what's going to happen.
Absolutely. In every single one of those early exchanges, Nitro-Oxide was winning. They were out-driving them.
Classy Genso on both sides, handshakes all around. Let's see it one more time.
Well, how can you be mad about this outcome? I mean, this is so crazy. Look at that.
Wild. I didn't even notice that happening at the time.
No, not at all. The lights go out on Fluffy.
Yeah, those switches are not easy to turn.
No, not at all.
I wonder if the weapon was spun up a little bit to give it that little, you know, knock over. But what a turn of events. Yeah, every single interaction was going for Nitro-Oxide. Colossal Avian just on the ropes the entire fight.
All right, so let's talk about the implications of this. That means Colossal Avian wins $1,000 for turning off Fluffy the Housebot, but also they have now qualified for the World Championships at the end of the year and an opportunity to win the Golden Brett for the 30-pound weight class, and they move on to the next round to face Moccasin for the Golden Dumpster, the first one of 2024. New year, new bots.
Wow.
This is an absurd turn of events.
Everything is going Colossal Avian's way. You know, I said earlier today, you know, like, this is a tournament full of Cinderellas. Anyone who wins today, it's a Cinderella story.
Yeah.
Everyone is the first time they're competing here with this robot. Every robot is new, and one of them is going to win their first NHRL tournament that they've ever competed in. That's crazy. Robots don't win their first tournament.
No, that is absolutely crazy. Congratulations to them. I cannot wait to see that fight between them and Moccasin in the next round. Absolute absurdity. Talk about falling to the top.
Yeah. Wow. I still can't get over the odds. What are the odds?
There's like, that could have replayed a million times in a million different universes and never happened like that.
I guess one out of however many fights we've had total. Right? That's the odds. Yeah.
All right, so let's check in with Chris, who's down here with Matthew Zhang.
That's right. I'm here with Matthew Zhang, driver for Colossal Avian. You did the impossible, nearly impossible, and you've qualified for the World Championships this year. What's going through your head right now?
I don't really know. I didn't expect it to make it this far. Honestly, this robot only worked like 1 or 2 days ago. All of us are from a university team. We came like back on campus like a week ago, threw this whole thing together last minute. So we were hoping like we would get anything, and I don't know. All my expectations have totally been exceeded. Yeah.
So you did, with maybe an assist, like an aerial flip and somehow turned off the housebot. Tell me about what that feels like, because that happens so infrequently, and I believe it earns you a sweet $1,000.
I mean, feels good. I couldn't really tell what was happening. I mean, I got thrown there. I saw the eyes like on the bot turn off. I was like, did we turn that off? But then I had to turn my gaze to the giant spinning drum that was pointed towards us. But yeah, I don't know. It was confusing in the moment, but it worked out.
So you're gonna go back up. You're gonna go. Anything that you think that you need to adjust on your bot for your final match?
We got the bananas kicked out of our wedge, so probably got to straighten that out. Arm doesn't work anymore, according to Tommy. The disc doesn't work anymore, so we got a number of things we got to do. So pretty lucky to get out of that one alive, I think.
Real quick, what university did you go to?
University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. All of us are from the iRobotics team at the university, so I don't know if you're applying to college, you like combat robots, think about iRobotics.
Well, I hope you guys all go back and strut around campus. Good job. Good luck in the final.
Thank you. Thank you.
Back to you guys.
All right, that's some big bird luck in that one. But let's go ahead and head over to cage 2, where we've got some 3-pound semifinal action.
You know, $1,000 is good money for a college kid.
Yeah.
That's
a lot of speed controllers.
That is a lot of speed controllers.
You really got to feel happy for that team. What a story to come in here, robot last minute put together and make it this far. That's
yeah, it was their other bot,
them.
their kind of more experienced bot that they were thinking was going to go further in the tournament, but that's impressive. All right, here we sit.
Big hitters in this fight.
Once again, that same problem of facing Repeater.
I think the over...
All right, let's check it out. We've got Ryan Liu on the Repeater squad, the vertical spinner multi-bot. On the right, we've got Corey Nason's Catalyst, the huge vertical spinner, spinning slightly slower, but with a much larger spinner. They're both 5-0.
I think I'm going to set the over-under on ceiling hits at 5.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And there you see the secret weapon on Ryan's team, Peter Garnache, just calmly having a seat by the box, ready to wreak some havoc. I love it.
That secret weapon.
5.
We'll see, you know, can they deal with a multi-bot here? Can Catalyst take 2 at once?
He's done it before,
there's
and
one.
he can do it again. I will say that Booty Brigade was a multi-bot configuration, and they are... So he has no secret to taking bots apart. Nice hit there from Repeater. Beautiful shot.
That is what is so difficult about fighting Repeater. They are so fast.
And those weapons hit hard.
3.
Nice shot there.
Coming in at the wheels from Repeater. Great driving on both sides here.
Corey Nason, the roofing ninja himself, really living up to that moniker in this fight.
Catalyst has been flying around the box, but it is still moving. You can hear the drums on
Repeater. That's a huge chunk of the armor that just came off of one half of Repeater there.
He's been getting hit repeatedly in that side, and it is just holding up.
Yeah, that tumble that he has to take after every one of those hits, really hard to come back from.
The durability of the robots left in the tournament at this point is outstanding.
And these are new bots. I mean, this is crazy to see how...
Oh,
no! The tap out!
Catalyst eats its belt, stops moving, and taps out.
So Ryan and Peter celebrating, freaking out. Absolutely amazing. They are now moving on into the finals. And that means they qualify for the World Championships.
Wow.
And a chance at the Golden Bread, the biggest prize in combat robotics.
What a fight. I don't think anyone thought that was going to the judges. Brutal damage.
Wow.
Catalyst couldn't overcome the teamwork of Repeater there. They are just fighting really well together.
All right, so Chris is with the winner, Repeater, but...
So, yeah, I'm here with Peter at a slugfest. Corey, awesome job as well. Congratulations, you're qualified for the World Championship.
Woo! Let's go!
So if you blinked, you missed everything in that match. Tell us what was going through your mind as you were going head-to-head with Corey. That was nasty.
I mean, you know how hard he hits. You know if he gets in there, he's going to do damage. So I was just sitting there. If I was not close to him, I turned the weapon down so I could drive. As soon as I was face-to-face with him, crank it to 100. And we went blade to blade 5 or 6 times, and I won most of them. That's a killer robot.
You obviously have built these very, very resilient bots because they also visited the ceiling a few times. Tell us a little bit about that.
So I didn't build the robots. My friend Ryan over here actually
get in here.
designed them. So Ryan was inspired by Ryan was inspired by my old design hyperlinks, but what hyperlinks lacked in weapon power, Ryan put into this robot.
Do you have anything you want to say about the robots?
It speaks for itself.
I would say so. And you guys have more speaking to do with your final match coming up. But congratulations on qualifying. It's a huge deal. We can't wait to see you at the end of the year, but obviously we might see you before that.
Oh, we'll see you in a couple of minutes.
All right, back to you guys at the desk.
So awesome. Look at some of these highlights. There are some amazing roof shots.
Catalyst came out strong, but Repeater was unfazed, and the crowd is going wild.
Yeah, and Peter is not lying. A lot of these weapon-to-weapon impacts actually went the way of the smaller bots in Repeater. Ryan Liu designed some absolute powerhouses using Peter's equipment. I absolutely love these robots. And I love Ryan at the end there. You know, the bot speaks for itself.
It did.
I don't have to talk.
It
I'm
did.
going to talk at the finals, baby. You don't have to hear anything from me.
And they beat the odds with the under. Only 3 ceiling shots there.
Nice.
Impressive fight. Lived up to my expectations. Very exciting.
I think Catalyst has a future, for sure. Once that stability is figured out, the floppiness goes away.
Catalyst was impressive. It has been hard to fight against Repeater for anyone tonight.
Yeah.
They are pumped up, and they have a right to be earning a spot.
That was amazing. So yeah, the winner of that fight now is going on to the final. They will be going on to face either Twisted Sister or Scurryfest at the final.
Whew. Very cool. Oh, who do you think would make a better matchup for the final against Repeater?
I think they would rather take on a Twisted Sister. You know, Scurryfest really does have that same multi-bot configuration ethos, and they've got a really good, more sets of options in their playbook, I think, than Twisted Sister does. Don't get me wrong, Twisted Sister hits hard, it's super scary, but there's a lot more options for Scurryfest to play with.
True.
Repeater seems built to take on singular robots.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, let's go ahead up to the pits where we're checking in with Lindsay. Hi, Lindsay.
Hi, Sam. So I ran a poll before that match, and that was quite the upset. We had a majority of voters going with Catalyst. I mean, Corey has a ton of fans. So Ryan and Peter being able to pull off that upset is huge. I do want to share a little history about Ryan, who competed at the New Bots event this time last year. Well, there's a very excited school team behind me. So Ryan competed at this event last year at the New Bots event, where he fought with Cobra Chicken, and he made it to the quarterfinals. So he didn't quite, get as far as this time. So he must be feeling so good about himself. Not only did he qualify, but now he's going to the finals, something he wasn't able to do last year, with this really formidable pair of robots. It's really exciting, and I'm really proud of him.
We are too. It was a beautiful moment. So much happiness from that squad. It's awesome for the Texas crew who flew out here, came in last night, and are just winning fights.
Yeah, they came to win.
Let's go to cage 3 here for our last of the semifinals for the 3-pound weight class, where we have Scurryfest and Twisted Sister.
Ooh, yeah. Scurryfest is a collaboration between Miles Sims
All right.
and Robert Run.
Twisted Sister from Denver right out of Boulder, Colorado. It's a one-part robot with 2 wheels, as opposed to Scurryfest from Miles Sims of Smyrna, Georgia. 2 robots, some shuffling, some driving.
A lot of
damage. Robots fight.
Horizontal versus horizontal here, but of course Scurryfest with a lot more weight in the box.
Beautiful pick there by Robert Run, getting into the side of Twisted Sister and gaining control immediately at the beginning of this fight, slamming him to the wall, getting the pin. You can hold that pin for 10 seconds, and it looks like the Scurry portion of Scurryfest coming in to get that hit as soon as the pin is over, and nicely executed strategy. Excellent job.
We saw this in the last fight with Scurryfest. That wedge robot is so effective. And here it is again, just taking advantage of Twisted Sister. Perfect driving.
It is just the Crushfist unibody without the shuffle, and it is amazingly good at scooping up robots. And look at that, good teamwork between them there. And finishing off the pin with a massive hit. I mean, they have really dialed this strategy in throughout the day today.
Scurryfest looked like they hit their own mini-bot there, or second half rather. But still dominant, shoving around the main bot. It's incredible the hits they're able to take.
And I don't even see them talking while they're fighting. They just know what to do.
Yeah,
they're feeling it.
Robert knows, I pin, he hits. That's the deal. We make it happen every time.
Yeah, when you fight in a team like this, you do discuss a lot of strategy early on, but this type of teamwork is very impressive to see. The execution is top notch.
Yeah, absolutely. Just phenomenal coordination between these guys.
Wow.
And that's yet another pin. I mean, if you're going to get damage and control points, this is how you maximize that with a multi-bot configuration. Absolutely beautiful.
Can they keep it going through the end of the fight? That is always the difficulty here. You know, one misplaced hit and Twisted Sister could tear that wedge robot apart, tear a wheel off, change the whole fight. Hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, that is a custom hub motor on Twisted Sister, and it has been wrecking bots all day.
You know, you look at Scurryfest, you think that Scurry is going to be the one doing most of the fighting. That hasn't been the case.
No, it's just been coming in and taking the hits as needed.
Yeah, it comes in, it does a little hit like here, and then it backs away, lets the wedge come in. It's just, again, completely smothering.
Yeah, and look at this pin. It's up against Brett. The Scurry portion is actually not able to get in to get the hit there.
Yeah. You know, a lot of the rules are rewritten to make sure that you use the smaller half of your multi-bot, that you're not only using it to gain a weight advantage. In this fight, it's almost like you need to encourage using the larger half of the multi-bot.
Now, they're ahead on damage points at this point, right?
Oh, yeah.
They're doing it. They're getting the hits in, but yeah, it is almost all Robert Run.
There you go, little teamwork, double teaming. Wow. Just, again, complete domination from Scurryfest here.
Absolutely. Different philosophy than Repeater by far, right? They have very different components that do totally different parts of the strategy.
Disappointment for Twisted Sister. That is not how they wanted that fight to go.
Denver has had a phenomenal run today, but I do believe the judge's decision is not going to go in his direction.
No, I think that was Scurryfest all the way. Just tremendous driving. Both bots here should be proud, regardless of who wins this, but Scurryfest coming out. And, you know, that type of driving is stressful. You know, they were completely dominant in that fight, but at any moment, they could have lost a wheel and it would have changed the entire dynamic of the fight. It's a risky strategy to come in like that. It takes perfect execution, and they were able to do it tonight.
Beautiful work. Precision, like utmost precision. So let's go ahead and take a look at one of these teams that has flown quite a bit of a ways to get here today, and let's see a little bit about them.
I'm Alper. I'm Tuna. We are the team Istanbul Combat Robotics. We are the only combat robotics team in Turkey.
Yeah, it was a 15-hour connection flight from Heathrow Airport, so kind of a long while.
First, they wanted to come to the big show first, and I love that about them. It is so cool.
Well, I think combat robotics first inspired us with obviously BattleTots. the famous TV show. You know, we both saw that growing up as a child. And I think we always had a thing for trying to do, you know, BattleTots or combat robotics, but it just wasn't really accessible. But then, when we decided to make a combat robot just for fun, just for fighting in between each other, and then we heard about this competition, and then we decided, oh, maybe we can actually join an actual competition.
Wow, okay, so you're having a little bit of mobility issues there.
Yeah, interesting. I'm wondering.
Yeah, I think it's a great environment where everybody's like trying to help each other. Like it is a competition, but up to a certain point, like everybody's trying to help. Nobody wants to have like boring fights where the other robots can do. Yeah.
I think it's actually exceeded our expectations. Normal is a great place too. We were really excited to see.
Yeah, it's a great time.
Also, we have been watching NHRL on YouTube for a long time, and we actually met people that we see on YouTube here. That was like really exciting.
All right, welcome to America, guys. We are so glad that you were able to come out. Wow, really cool guys. I got to have a long conversation with them yesterday, and I think they were very surprised by the culture here. They were telling me, do we need to put our equipment away? Should we take it back to the hotel with us at the end of the night last night? Are people going to be staring at our robots? Do we need to worry about kind of security? And I was like, no, guys, everybody's here to help. Like, this is, it's
so
a
you
fight.
tricked them into a false sense of security.
Yeah. But no, I was like, yeah, it's a fight, it's a competition, but everybody's here to help. If you have any questions, if you need any tools, if you need anything, just ask. There's a million people here who are going to help you out.
Now, I have in the past flown halfway around the world to compete combat robotics. Flew to Shanghai a few times. It is stressful, but memorable. I think they're going to remember this for the rest of their lives, coming out here and representing their country.
A junior and senior in high school.
Yeah.
I mean, they're kids. Like, this is amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. I'm so special to have them here. Did a great job today, and you know, I really hope they come back.
I just love the reach that NHRL has and the impact that it has on people all over the world. Like, to do what it takes to build a robot and get out here, it's so much, there's so much complexities. Like, they had to deal with sourcing stuff that, just to make a test cage, they had to get sponsors because polycarbonate's so hard to get out there. Just the hoops they had to jump through to get here. It's amazing, and I love it.
And airport security, a lot of fun with robots.
Yeah.
All right, let's check in with Chris and the winner of that 3-pound semifinal. Hello, Chris.
That's right, you heard it. Miles, you didn't come all the way up from Georgia for nothing. You've earned your spot in the World Championships. Congratulations.
Thank you. That's insane.
It's a two-person party.
It absolutely
work
is.
together all day, and it's what we're gonna do. We're multi-bot. We have to work together. The more we work together, the better the fights go.
Absolutely. I absolutely love Scurryfest. It gives me early 2000s Nickelodeon vibes. I'm ready to watch like Guts or something, you know. But it's also an incredibly well-built bot. Sleek undercutter design, and then you have perhaps the best control assistant driver that you could have for a mini bot. Really good formula. Tell us about that formula.
Oh yeah, like this has a weapon, of course. Scurry has a weapon, but the real weapon is Robert. Like, I'm in there to help him like win the fight, because I work as a good distraction to come in after he engages, but really I'm just trying to enable Robert to do what he does best.
Yeah. Well, so the thing is, my driving, I think, is an advantage. People, like my fight with, the fight before with the hammer saw, he basically told me he went after me because of my driving. So people just don't want, because of my driving style. But as I said to you before we went on, me and him, we fought back at Newbot in 2022, and we decided that the only way he can win, not have to lose, is just pair up with the person that beat him twice at Newbot.
Well, you know, you have one more fight left. Do you have anything you got to do? And if so, maybe you got to get up there and do it. I don't know.
Yeah, I've got to do a couple of little maintenance things, patch up a few things, and then we'll be back down for the fine fight.
New top, ready to go for me.
Well, good luck. It's the big one. All right, back.
Wow.
Cool. If you can't beat them, join them.
All right, let's head to cage 1 for the first semifinal of the 12-pound weight class, where we have Void and Blue Marlin.
Yeah, this is going to be another high-energy fight.
All right, so on the Blue Marlin team, it's Bob Bellison from Port St. Lucie, Florida. They've got a vertical spinner with a solid 1-inch reach. Trevor Summer from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania is on the Void squad with their vertical spinner at 200 miles per hour.
200 miles an hour. Sometimes we forget the speeds these things are spinning at. I think this is going to make some good noise once we get going.
So Blue Marlin was designed as a bit of a Vorion clone with a full UHMW
5,
chassis.
4, 3.
We've seen this thing just tossing robots all day.
Of course, Vorion won the All-Stars events.
That's exactly right.
So
Great
it's a
bot
good
to
design.
emulate.
Wow, big hit out of the gate for Blue Marlin, sending Void flying upside down and not letting up, taking advantage of this position. Void trying to self-right, cannot, and Blue Marlin is non-stop on them. Void can't take too much more of this. They got to be careful.
Void brought to you by Trevor Summer, and it is a hub spinner robot. And it hits hard, but man, it doesn't do so well when it's on its head. I think that's a great strategy for Blue Marlin to keep them inverted as much as possible throughout this match.
Keep your opponent upside down. Void is still going, though. This is anyone's fight.
Absolutely.
And there you see a great hit coming back from Void. Ooh.
The sparks flying in that weapon-to-weapon impact there, and you can see Void tumbling back towards the wall.
Blue Marlin winning the majority of the engagements here. That's going to be hard for Void to come back from.
And it does look like Void is having some mobility issues. Even when it is on its wheels, it tends to be backing up a lot. See, look at that. I do believe it's lost a drive side on one of the sides.
Now, if we were tracking the soccer stat battles won, I think Blue Marlin would be way ahead here.
Absolutely.
It's just winning all of these engagements. And Void has got no answers.
Yeah, Void's been doing a phenomenal job all day with these weapon-to-weapon engagements, but man, Blue Marlin has just been able to take the strategic advantage. Nice side hit, pinning them up against the wall.
Sometimes the geometry just doesn't work out for you.
And
Blue
look at them, there's
Marlin
no
might have
movement.
It here.
There's no movement, and it's a tap out.
That's a tap out.
There
Impressive.
we go.
Impressive performance by Blue Marlin. Big hits, sparks flying. Little victory dance at the end there.
Well, there should be. Congratulations to Blue Marlin. They are now moving on to the finals. That means they qualify for the World Championships at the end of the year and a chance to win the coveted Golden Brett.
Duels won.
Amazing.
Duels won, not battles won. What am I thinking with my soccer stats? Duels won.
You're going to get called out for being a fake soccer fan over here. Look out.
All right. So that was the first of the 12-pound semifinals. That means we have one more semifinal fight. And after that, it's all finals all the time.
That's exactly right. So the winner of the next fight between BumbleBlitz and Questionable Choices will go on to face Blue Marlin in the finals. But in the meantime, congratulations to Bob Bellison and Blue Marlin.
These fights are getting more and more energetic as we get into the night. Better and better fights. You know, as to be expected as we whittle down here to the top robots of the night.
Absolutely impressive performance from Bob and Blue Marlin. That's a lot of B alliteration in that bot. We might want to change that for later.
All right, so Chris is with Bob and Blue Marlin, I believe.
Bob, this is a trophy fish you got here.
Thank you very much.
Let me ask you, you go up against really other powerful, incredible verts, but you look like you have a bot that is still intact. It looks dialed in. What's going through your head coming up for your final match?
I've been taking today one match at a time, just not worried about the next one. I mean, now I'm kind of worried about the next one, but
I didn't mean to do that to you.
No, it's good. Just doing the same thing I've been doing.
What's the secret to just, you have such a great, you could turn on a dime, you're getting under there, even with like what looks like a pretty steep wedge?
Well, The wedge itself is, I actually have sharpened this leading edge here almost down to a point. So it's scraping the ground pretty much just as well as other people's forks are. And then what was the other part of that question? I'm sorry.
And it must be just the really wide body style that allows you to turn and maneuver so well.
The wide stance makes it so maneuverable because the wider you are, the less gyroscopic forces want to sort of lift your wheel off the ground. And so if I turn it down to like 50% throttle on the weapon, I can turn just without lifting a wheel.
Well, good luck in your final match, and congratulations for qualifying for the World Championships, Bob.
Thank you, and thank you, everyone.
Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Chris. Thanks, Bob. We are going to jump right up into the pits real quick, where we have Luke and Ricky.
Yeah, that's right. I'm here with Richard. Richard, builder of Moccasin. Now, we were talking and reminiscing because the last time you were here was 2019 as a competitor. I can't even describe to you how different it was back in 2019. A crazed superfan like myself could just go wandering straight into the pits and, ask Ricky here any question that I wanted, right?
There were a lot of questions, like a lot of questions. I was not prepared. Honestly, it was the first interaction I had where someone asked me a whole bunch of questions about robots in a way that was focused and insightful and that level of interest. And it was a big moment for me, is getting my feet under me as a robot builder.
Now, this is a good, sometimes stalkers can become friends, all right? Or at least work acquaintances, This is fantastic, okay? So pursue your dreams, I guess. Follow Ricky home. I'm sorry, Ricky. No, don't do that.
Still can't sleep in my car.
Good. I do want to ask you about the weapon chain because this is very cool. Now, there is a little bit of your opponent's DNA inside of your robot. You're going to be facing off against Colossal Avian.
You got it.
I was going to call it Enormous Bird. I'm so glad that I didn't. Colossal Avian, now this is their weapon chain. Tell me, how did this happen?
So we went into that we were about to go into the last fight, and the robot looked pretty good overall, and I noticed that this chain was like way too loose, and I couldn't tighten it up anymore. And what's more, even if I could, it was like clearly on its last legs. And there was only one other robot in the building that had the kind of chain we needed, and it just happened to be Colossal Avian. So but they were kind enough to gift me some. I didn't even offer to buy. They were like, "No, just take it." And then I walked over there, and they're like, "Oh, we gave it to you." In a very nice way. But yeah, if we win, or even if we just give them a few good licks, it is their chain that is the reason we can do that, because I'm very confident we wouldn't have made it through the last match with a win had we not been given that gift.
Ricky, it sounds to me like you're saying that the team behind Colossal Avian is made up of some good eggs.
Oh, that was rotten.
Back to you on the desk.
I liked it.
That was good. You know what? I love that about this sport, not just the terrible puns, but also the helping everybody out in the pits. That's phenomenal.
You think they had a thought like, hey, maybe we should get that chain back. Can we have that back now? Never mind.
Or, you should pay us for that.
Yeah.
$1 million.
All right, let's look at what's going on in Cage 4, where we have BumbleBlitz and Questionable Choices. So let's check this tail of the tape. And BumbleBlitz in the pink square by Liam King of Hollywood, Maryland. He's bringing a hammer saw that spins at 170 miles per hour. He's 3-0 with 2 KOs. Mark Liu of San Diego has the vertical spinner. Questionable Choices, also at 180 miles per hour. 3-0, and this fight is going.
BumbleBlitz is an overhead attack bot, and it hits hard.
They have patient out of the gate here.
They've been iterating on this bot all week, and they are just trying to pick their shot.
Questionable Choices having some issues with gyro there, but they're able to correct. Mini bot there, the second half of BumbleBlitz lifting Questionable Choices with those cam lifters. Those are active forks that can get under and raise a robot up. But Questionable Choices able to get off. You can see here there are keep-away forks on the front of BumbleBlitz. That is keeping questionable choices too far away for their weapon to engage.
Beautiful shot right there. Nice hit. And the forks do, by the way, put questionable choices at the correct range for their overhead attack weapon.
Now, of course, those forks do not work when they're propped up like that. And now questionable choices getting bigger hits without that fork there to stop them. And BumbleBlitz is on the wall here. Let's see if they can come back.
Yeah, they are able to shake themselves down off the wall without calling for an unstick.
Seems like both of those forks now have been ripped off, and that is really going to hurt BumbleBlitz going forwards. Questionable choices going after the cam lifter, taking out both wheels, and now going after the big half again.
Looks like something is high centering them as well. Perhaps one of those forks underneath the body of the robot.
Yeah. So that seems to be folded back, but still limited mobility here.
Maybe the other side is still folded back. It's not moving well at all.
It's not ripped off, but just folded under the robot.
Hard to tell.
Yeah, well, it is not looking good for BumbleBlitz right now, but as we can see, anything can happen.
Ooh, nice shot directly onto the weapon arm from questionable choices.
Hit
and it looks like
after hit. You can see belts and wheels coming off here on the right side of BumbleBlitz. Ooh,
yeah,
there's a tap.
That is an understandable tap out from BumbleBlitz. Your winner is going to be questionable choices. They have now qualified for the finals. They will be going on to...
Got to be careful. He's going to hurt his hand there.
And by the way, that also means he qualifies for the World Championships at the end of the year.
That is a big step to qualify for those World Championships. That is not easy to do. It is getting harder every year just to qualify. And he's not done yet tonight. He'll be going on to the finals.
Absolutely. And in the finals, going to have to face off against Blue Marlin.
Blue Marlin has looked great all night. That'll be a terrific fight to see who can pull it through and finish out the night with a win.
Yeah, so proud of Ryan Liu and this team. Beautiful moves, and I gotta say, these hits have been impressive all day.
All right, let's go ahead and check in with Chris and the Questionable Choices team.
Mark Liu, questionable choices have paid off because you've just qualified for the World Championships.
Sweet, that is unbelievable.
Congratulations, awesome bot, exciting to watch. Tell us what you got coming up in your final fight.
So we're gonna go take everything apart. We're gonna put back on the armor. We're gonna take off the top armor, and hopefully we'll be ready for the next fight.
So you're going up against a really dangerous overhead vertical spinner, but you just go full send. Tell me a little bit about your driving strategy and what it's like working as a pair.
Nate's been doing a fantastic job of teeing up the opponents so I can get hits in on the side. He's also been keeping the other opponents' mini-bots busy if they had one. That lets me attack the main robot, so it's been working out great.
Well, good luck. Get back up there. Get to work. One big match coming up, but we'll see you at the World Championships.
I gotta say, I like this smart guy more and more.
All business.
Yeah, so good. Oh, sweet. Yeah, glad I'm winning.
Yeah, we take the top off, put it back out, and come back down.
Absolutely. Yeah, Nate's doing good. We're just doing good.
Yeah, it's impressive. I mean, they're coming out and they're executing. Yeah.
This is great. Look at these hits. I mean, once those forks kind of went under, that is all she wrote for BumbleBlitz.
Yeah, you can see, you know, those types of little things are hard to notice at first, but those forks were really, really working. And as soon as those were no longer part of it, that was when the fight turned.
There you see celebration from Nate. But Mark, no celebration, just, yeah. All right.
My hand.
I'm glad that went that way.
All right, here we are in the 12-pound bracket, powered by True Finals. We've got Blue Marlin and Questionable Choices as the only ones left. And they're going head-to-head for that golden dumpster.
These choices are looking less and less questionable as the night goes on.
I know, none of these choices were questionable. I don't understand the name.
Yeah. You know, of all the good names tonight, that is the most confusing one.
Absolutely, yes. Phenomenal performance by Mark all day today, but they do have to face the giant fish themselves, Blue Marlin, in the next round, and that thing is vicious. So I don't know. I'm not going to be in the predictions game for the final, because that's going to be two very hard-hitting robots.
Both teams firing on all cylinders. I'm going to predict a good fight.
Ooh.
How brave of you, Adam. All right, so let's go ahead and upstairs with Luke. And we've got the repeater squad.
All right, now there are only 2 BumbleBlitz left here in the bracket. Repeater, you are looking incredibly good going into this fight. I've got Peter Garnache here and Ryan Liu. Now tell me, what did it take to beat Catalyst in your last match?
I mean, it took really good driving. Ryan and I had strategies going into this. Ryan was calling out who was on him and who was off him. And we basically just wanted to circle him, because if he can't hit us, he can't do anything to us. So you could see every time he would turn towards one robot, the other robot would be lined in to come in and just hit him right in the back. And I think we executed it pretty well. There were a couple of scary times where he met us face to face, but we were able to spin our weapons up and tank those hits. So, yeah.
Now, did Corey tell you what happened to his receiver? He told me. Ryan, it's delightful. It's a fantastic story.
Yeah, I think afterwards the receiver just came loose and the weapon punted it out right out the front. So very lucky that happened, but you know, I like to think that we did a little part in that.
It's like a Mortal Kombat fatality when you just pull your opponent's heart out of their chest and just throw it across the screen. Fantastic. Disgusting. I love it. I want to take a look at these robots. They're just gorgeous. They're tiny little perfect robots here. Yeah. So what are these? Are these 2 pounds each?
Yep, they're 1.95 pounds each, depending on the configuration. We can play with a wedge or a couple of different batteries to add weight for different opponents and shuffle it around. But yeah, they're right about at 2 pounds. With Norwalk, if you have robots that are the same weight, you have to knock both of them out in order to win the match, which makes it harder to kill. You have to kill 2 robots instead of 1.
Now, we're really looking for engagement. We want people on the YouTube Live to stick around for the final fight. Who are you facing and what is your strategy?
So we're facing Scuttles and friends, I don't know his exact name. Scurryfest. So Scurryfest is 2 robots. One of them is an undercutter shuffler, which is really cool, made by Miles. The other one is just a downweight Crushfist. I have a grudge against Crushfist. The first time I ever came to NHRL, I brought my Beetleweight Ablation to Norwalk 2 years ago, and I actually got knocked out by Crushfist, and he went on to win the Golden Dumpster that year, which was crazy. So we're here with a vengeance to get him back.
Fantastic. Now we just have 1 fight left. It's going to come up here in the next, X number of minutes. Best of luck to you both.
Thank you.
Back to you on the desk.
All right, good stuff from the repeater squad. And, like you said earlier, Adam, they are really well poised against a single robot opponent.
Yeah, and who needs a Cinderella story when you got a revenge story on the table for the finals here?
You know what? There is a lot that is going back in this finals to that 2022 new bot event. There were so many interesting things that came out of that, including Miles Sims himself. I remember when he showed up at that event with a robot that looked like he had designed it 10 years ago, and it was perfect and it was pristine, and I was like, so how long have you been in combat robotics? And he said, oh, no, this is my first robot. It's beautifully 3D printed, perfect. I was like, okay, buddy. All right, rock out.
Speaking of first robots, let's check in with our most fake international competitor. Let's take a look at Mr. Roper.
Yeah.
Fake.
Hi, my name's Spiff. First name's Jiff with an I, 2 F's, 1 J. My robot is Mr. Roper. We're on Team Eel Monkey. It's got the hammer weapons on the side. It does a little bit of smashing on this. Does a little smashing on this. Inside the mask, don't really know. Haven't opened it yet. We're good. Sometimes that happens. Comes back once in a while. It's been one of the highest quality tools here. we went to this harbor store and we bought all the best tools we had, put them into one robot, put the electronics in, and yeah, wired it up, and now it smashes things. It's never fought. It's actually barely turned on. It made a big ruckus over there, and then we got a little badge, and hopefully, you know, we can, well, that's 3 minutes today. When I come here to your country, I'm so welcomed. I come around and I see all these great builders, and I just can't help but have my heart filled with all the wonderful people here. Oh, that was terrible. Please don't use any of that. Thank you.
Okay.
What's up, control room?
Hi, control room. Good to see you guys.
It's
Spiff.
It's Jiff.
It's Jiff. It's. I don't know. Is it cultural appreciation, cultural appropriation, or cultural imitation?
Yes.
I thought it was all real. I feel deceived.
He just broke character at the end. That was the act, the American accent at the end.
Maybe you're right. The American accent
is the
was
act.
fake.
That was a very good American
we
accent.
don't know.
Man. He did a great job.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I think we're all disappointed that Mr. Roper didn't make it to the finals, but it did put on a good show.
It put on a great show today, and it did make it into the bracket, which you can't really complain about.
Pretty far.
Yeah, absolutely. Great first effort by the EO Monkey Arts. They turned Superfan into merch producers, into now robot builders. All of your dreams can come true here at NHRL.
Oh, I hear there's a frantic report up there with Luke in the 12-pound class. Let's go ahead and check in there and see what's up. Luke?
Hey everybody, it's just me. This is because we have a frantic builder here with questionable choices. Let's take a look at the repair in process. Now, questionable choices here has about 40 minutes on the repair window left. And you can see these are the frantic moments before the final fight. Now we saw earlier, he's putting on his wheels here. And really what you're looking for is really checking over every single system inside of your robot. We have a damaged tire here. We want to replace those. And if there's time, the builder here is going to want to put the robot back into the test box to make sure that it is running as expected. Now, at the start of the day, it's very chill. You might have 1 or 2 hours between your fights. At the end of the day, we keep you to a very strict schedule. So really, if in 40 minutes from now this robot is not ready to fight, he will be eliminated. So yeah, we are going to allow him to do that. And I'm going to send it back to you on the desk while I go and find Liam King, the builder of the robot that he just defeated.
Wow.
All right, cool. Switching from the black BaneBot's wheels to the blue ones. I think he's going to have a little more grip in this next fight from that.
Those repair decisions can be tricky. When you're last minute, you're stressed, you're trying to get your robot ready for a fight, and you're saying, okay, can I leave this a little bit broken, or should I replace it? Because the worst thing would be to try and replace something and not have enough time. But we can go back in those pits and make all those repairs in time. It's such a good feeling to get in the box with a working robot.
How do you triage that? Like, what is the decision-making process? Are you like do you have a certain set of components that have to be in prime shape?
I mean, you have to move. Right. When you get in the box. And then next up, you want to work in a weapon. After that, it's like, how much armor can we get on this thing? And the front setup. And so you run into the situation where you have an optimum setup, an optimum defense that you want to run, and you try to figure out how much time is each one going to take. Is one piece going to take a lot longer? Maybe I can do a bunch of shorter tasks in time. And yeah, like you say, it's triage. You try to rate things on how important they are, how long they're going to take.
All right, let's go ahead and look in Cage 2. We've got a freestyle fight up here with 2FA, that's Two-Factor Annihilation, and they are going up against Two-Factor Annihilation versus Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
We're going a little Texas here. It's all Texas all the time in this arena right now. I'll tell you what.
A little past high noon.
Is that cultural appropriation?
No, we're appreciating.
Impersonating? And they're just doing a little dance. Not really engaging yet. Let's see how that goes.
Yeah, this is a driver's duel here, but the first engagement is a tough one to take. Oh! No! He pops up, comes right back, and destroys that top panel.
Ouch. Is that the belt?
Oh, wow, they're controlling this robot with a Steam Deck. I have never seen that before.
Interesting. Well, if if it works for you, if you're used to using that.
Now, for those unaware, a Steam Deck is a PC-based video game handheld console, so not a radio transmitter, notably.
No, I believe they're on, this robot is controlled via Bluetooth.
Wow.
Okay.
Do not see that often.
On a custom Unity-based software built onto the Steam Deck.
So wait a minute, can I pair this with my iTunes?
I think you can link your phone up to it.
Can I get the robot to play my Spotify?
That's what I want.
Well, it's just a dominant performance right now, using it as a hammer saw, using it as a disc. Pretty impressive to keep moving after having your top panel caved in like that. They must have had a really good armor setup up there.
No weapon coming off of that hammer saw there, but still able to get 2 big hits.
Oh, and they're doing the thing that is not what you want to see.
Nope, got the weapon spinning up on that now, but they're going to have to leave them up against the wall, doing the thing right on their weapon bracket.
And this is going to cost them one of their unsticks. Oh, trying to turn off the house spot.
Yeah,
will we see a second one?
Recommended. Yeah.
Drawing the ire.
I would say Brad should be fighting back at this point.
Yeah, Brad seems pretty grumpy about it, honestly.
Doesn't seem like he can quite reach.
Right, the geometry's just a little off.
Just
yeah,
a little
the forks
short.
are a little too long on the front.
1 minute left in this fight. The crowd is chanting, "Turn it off."
I'm rooting for Brad. We've already had a house pot turned off. This is getting expensive.
The fight is still going on.
Really dominant performance by Blood, Sweat, and Tears so far.
Oh, yeah. Will we see some more
And
big
another
hits
attack
to
right there on
close
the
this
top
out?
leg.
Oh, wow.
Nasty.
Blood, Sweat, and Tears sending themselves into the air there. Oh, and now Blood, Sweat, and Tears having maneuverability issues. Wow. Both bots are going to make it to the bell here, but the closing salvo at the end, completely switched the tables.
Yeah, that was very impressive. Texas on Texas violence. And there you see Pearl. Pearl's so happy to be back at this event.
All smiles at the end of this fight.
Well, why wouldn't you be? I mean, come on. That was a fun fight. Oh, that was great. Yeah, the Texas contingent really showed up today. Absolutely phenomenal performances from all of those bots. They told me at the beginning of the day they're here to win. And that has turned out to be very true.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we got Luke up in the pits with the BumbleBlitz team. Liam. Hey, Luke, how's it going?
Hey, I'm standing by here with Liam King, the builder of BumbleBlitz. Now, Liam, fantastic day. This was a really, really effective robot, and you went incredibly deep with a hammer saw, which is incredible. Now, I would love to take a look at what's unique about this hammer saw. How is it different than other hammer saws that we've seen at this competition?
So I'd say there's 2 big differences between this hammer saw and a lot of other hammer saws. First of all, it's 4-wheel drive. It means that it's much longer than it is wide. Typically, a hammer saw is much more wide to just like encapsulate and control the opponent. But the idea with the 4-wheel drive hammer saw is to be much more agile and much more aggressive. And also because it's longer, the arm becomes longer, which gives me much more range to get in deeper, to puncture deeper into the robot. The other big difference with this hammer saw is instead of having 2 plates with the weapon in the center, I have a UHMW arm with the weapon cantilever on the side. So the idea was from this was heavily inspired from Maximizer. So with Maximizer's tail, the thing is held out on UHMW, and I theorized that the reason he had so much weapon success and the thing just not breaking making was because the UHMW was able to just absorb a lot of that energy. And I figured I could apply that to the 12-pound hammer saw. So that's what I did. It's belted all the way to the end, and the weapon is cantilever. Also, having the weapon cantilever on the side helps protect the arm because the weapon is spinning. It also allows me to, because there's no arm on one side of the weapon, it gives the potential to get into those tight spots and get those areas that you really don't want to get hit.
One of the big factors in Team Honeycrack's success has been this big 12/30-pound box now in Southern Maryland. And you have used this box a lot in the last month. Tell me how often, how many hours do you think, how many hours per day, per week, per month, you've spent inside of this box with BumbleBlitz?
So I've probably been at the shop a little bit more than my mentors recommend. However, I just value the box in the training and the resource so much. I've actually had this bot driving around for around a month now, and I've been constantly iterating. Not only do we have the box, but we also have Zoe with her amazing access to 3D printing, and we have Planeform, literally a few buildings down that can help cut parts. So I've just been constantly iterating, getting through all the little inconsistencies and just practicing a lot. So yeah, I could not have done this without this cage, which is why I went on this journey of making a slightly more complicated and unconventional robot.
5 days a week in the box or what?
More like 7, but since I've been out of school, I've just been working on it, and yeah, the grind's been real. But I'm very happy with how it's turned out.
Liam, BumbleBlitz is a winner, and I cannot wait to see more of it. Thank you so much for bringing it to New Bots. All right, we're going to check in with Lindsay.
I just absolutely love Liam. He is a builder who has worked so hard. He's been competing for so long with Team Honeycracked. I think has maybe flown under the radar a little bit, but now is just on this stage and has achieved such amazing results. And I'm really happy he's getting his glow. I just want to say, if you're watching at home, I'm going to give another plug for the YouTube live chat. There's a lot of people in there. We're having a really good time. One of the fun things, I guess, about having an online community is you develop your own little culture, your own little inside jokes. So if you're, watching at home and you want to get in on that, join us. I recommend that you you subscribe. We're always, we're just so excited to share this with you. And like Gang forever. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Lindsay. I personally am a subscriber to NHRL's YouTube. And
really?
I think it's totally worth it. For the low price of free, you constantly get new cool robot videos and even some spicier stuff too on the shorts.
Oh yeah, there are some spicy shorts on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. So we're getting down to it. We are down to the finals in all 3 of our weight classes.
Awesome. Oh. We've got a little bit of a rumble. Okay, so not quite a rumble, it's just a freestyle match. We've got Chainsaw Kitty, we've got Rewind, and the big wheel spinner is called Jot.
Yeah, Jot is a very strange robot. It is a big wheeled Thagomizer style robot.
Yeah, interesting geometry and physics happen. The last time we saw that robot fight, we'll see how it comes out here. I think it ejected its weapon in the last fight we saw.
This is a nice diversity of robots. I like this mix.
Yeah, a lot of designs here. The control bot, it's always fun to see those come out and perform well, and they did well tonight.
Chainsaw Kitty is, of course, not a new bot. Been around for quite a while now, and one of the more vicious competitors that we have here. Qualified for the finals last year.
Jot looking a little floppy in the wheel department.
It's been through a lot today.
I also think it ended its last fight with only one eye. See if it can hang on to both.
I was talking to the builder of Jot earlier today, and he was talking about cantilevering the wheels in to get a better turn radius. I think that's an interesting idea.
Interesting, because it didn't look intentional, but it is.
It might be, yeah, he's working on that. So it's an interesting idea.
It's difficult to do that. You know, it's a lot easier to build robots where everything's square. When you take something out of square, just can be annoying.
4,
Yeah,
creates a lot of dead space
2,
inside.
1. Fight, robots, fight.
Wow. Look at the speed from those cleat wheels.
Whoa.
Big hits getting tossed around. This is hectic.
I mean, just the speed out of Chainsaw Kitty is terrifying every single time.
Jot looks confused. I don't know what is happening.
Yeah, it's gone full melty.
A robot has disappeared. This is brutal. Chainsaw Kitty showing the difference between a first-time robot and a seasoned competitor here.
Looks like both snowman noses are off of the Jot there.
And this is not, you know, a multi-bot config here where it's two 2-pound robots. This is two 3-pound robots going against Chainsaw Kitty as a team.
Yeah, Keziah said that she came here today to help out some friends and also get in some freestyle fights with Chainsaw. And I'm glad she did. This is delightful.
Well, this is some good practice. And, you know, we were just hearing about, you know, how much practice some of the teams are getting with their own private boxes. Not everyone has a private box.
That's
so
right.
These types of freestyle fights are really important to get stick time in on your robot.
It is fun to play with your toy, and when you don't have many places to do that, you got to take every opportunity you get.
And it is interesting to do it in maybe a lower stakes situation. Have some fun with it. But man, they are not taking it easy here.
No, yeah. Nobody's got anything left to lose at this point. Ow!
Except, you know, parts and money, and, you know, a little pride. Chainsaw Kitty looks unscathed, not a scratch on it. Cannot say the same for the opponents.
Keziah showed up with multiple copies of Chainsaw Kitty as well, so they're all fresh. It's really funny.
Is that where we've gotten to in the sport, where you bring multiple copies just for grudge matches, freestyle fights?
You need your spare bot, or you're not even in the competition.
It's a lot of copies that she brought too. It was like 5.
Well, I don't think she's gonna need them. Wow. Dominating performance. Great driving.
Yeah, that is the difference. You got some new bots, and you got a very experienced championship competitor in Chainsaw Kitty.
I think I heard maybe they'll be coming in March for real.
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
And that'll be exciting to see.
Yeah, that team's been talking about going up a weight class too, possibly building something for the 12s, which would be really cool.
That would be great.
But meanwhile, they're looking to dominate the 3s by showing up with like 5 bots per event. So, you know, look out for that.
You don't have to do repair if you just bring enough robots for every fight.
Smart. It's so easy that way. All right, let's check in with one of our youngest competitors of the day today. Let's not do that. Okay. So we've got some options for going forward. We could potentially check in with the youngest competitor from today.
Doesn't he need to go to bed?
I think he probably is in bed now. This was taped earlier today, so
Good. You have the
let's check it out.
ability to tape.
Hey, I'm Joe Carrera. My team is Toddler Terror.
Toddler Terror.
First came to NHRL December of 2022.
To build robots.
That was his first foray into combat robotics, and we've been to every event since then. He will not miss one. He loves this place, and anything I could do to support him, I will. And I felt that I had to build one for him.
Here we go. And there we go. The flames have been lit.
The flames are lit. It is on fire.
It's all homemade. You know, it's just out of my head. You know, and it's based off of a high-powered RC car. It has a lifter arm on the back, and it has a butane torch in the front. He will be controlling the weapon system on the main bot.
And the fire pipes and the filter pipes.
The mini bot can still bring the fire.
Ouch! And now the mini bot has lost its flame. The flame is sitting in the middle of the arena.
Win or lose, we want to have a good time. I want to introduce the sport to him firsthand.
And there we go.
Toddler Terror back in the game.
They want more. They want more.
To me, this is the best thing that's come to North. This is awesome. It's a great place for the community. It's a great place to build on education, and I hope they get programs into the public school system too. You know, because he's going to be coming through the public school system, and I want him to continue with the engineering and robotics aspects of education.
All right, so there we go.
Knockout.
Knockout victory for Colossal Avian. And a big hug. Aww.
It's hard to see your toy, the thing that you've been working on, the thing you love, take a big hit, but you know what? This is such a huge learning experience, and you put on such a show.
Hopefully we'll make a lot more memories here.
That's pretty feel good.
What a story.
Yeah.
That kid is
So
such a
cute.
super fan
Yeah.
too. Like seeing him, because he's been watching the stream for literally his entire life. So watching him see people that he's seen on the stream in real life, and he like freaks out and he's like so excited. It was really fun to meet that kid earlier today.
Yeah, I mean, you know, something that it's easy to forget is every single person with a championship banner out there, they started as a fan of this sport, and they got into it, and then they made it happen because they wanted to. And to see people come here as fans and build a robot, compete with it, you know, well, the sky's the limit on what they can do going forward.
Yeah, absolutely.
And even with no experience, they made that transition from fan to builder.
And it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, it drove, it fought. He got it into 2 fights today. Did a great job.
And made some beautiful pictures with the cotton balls on fire there.
All right, so we have 9 minutes until our 3-pound final,
That's
and the
our
time limit is
countdown.
up.
Dramatic.
And right now, Luke is upstairs. What's going on upstairs? Luke, how you doing?
I'm very tired, and this last interview of the night for me is going to really test my, tongue-twisting skills. I'm here with the students from the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, and they are running Colossal Avian. They also ran 5 other robots. Now, some of these are captains of the earlier robots in the day. So 6 total robots for the school. Fantastic. Now, you still have your very cool bird-themed robots still in the mix. They have made the finals. You already made $1,000, for turning off the house spot. You're gonna go home with at least another $400, potentially another $1,000. Fantastic. $1,400 to $2,000. I heard that the repairs for this after this last match were really intense and involved a totally messed up chain. Can you talk me through what happened with the chain?
Yeah, for sure. So with our chain, it snapped due to the tension forces from our arm, and what that caused was all the chain had jumble up at the very bottom, which pushed our bottom plate. And then when we were spinning on the ground there at the very end, it wasn't the floor or anything like that. It was our chain actually pushing our bottom plate about half an inch down, so that we were just on top of that bottom plate and not on the actual floor, so we couldn't drive around.
So the guts of your robot ended up high centering the robot. Now, were you able to pound the bottom plate back into place?
So what we did instead was we actually cut a hole in the bottom plate so that we could, so that we can avoid this in the future, so that when the chain does break, instead, the chain will go through the bottom of the robot and out of the robot. So that way, we'll still be able to drive, even if the chain does break.
Now, you're facing off against Moccasin in your final fight. This is a very weird-shaped robot, difficult to plan for, unwieldy, incredibly tall. What's your strategy?
Well, we haven't thought much about that, honestly, because right now we just want the robot to work. Yes. But from a high level, I think the goal is to really get at their wheels. We have a lot of bite with our hammer saw, and we have pretty good reach on high up on their wheels, which could potentially jam out their drive axles and such. So the plan is just to get up close and swing our blade as fast and as hard as possible into their wheels.
Now, University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. Whew, I can't believe I did that. That's great. You're famous for running a 30-pound event in the Midwest, one of the very few 30-pound events before NHRL. Tell me about that. How long has it been running? Like, how many robots typically show up?
Yeah, so RoboBrawl has been a thing running at University of Illinois for almost 10 years now. We're going on 10 years. And started by a club called Robotics. That's what we're a part of. And it started off just as like a school competition with 4 robots, each a team being from each grade level. But now it's evolved to a pretty collegiate event. We get a lot of college teams. Northwestern, which has also showed up here, often comes down with their handful of robots, and we get some other Illinois universities coming down. Our last event had 26 30-pound robots, and that included some names that you may know, like Eva, and has RoboGym competed here, Roundhouse, and Lockout as well. So there's some big robots coming, and hopefully we're just trying to get some more attention, trying to get some more NHRL names out there.
Amazing. I am so glad that your school is here at NHRL. I am happy that you're here. Can't wait to see your career here in the competition. Gonna send it back down to you at the desk.
Good stuff. Luke did say that was his last interview for the day. Probably a good thing. The guy's been through what? Food poisoning, a lot of robot fights, a lot of interviews, and a lot of tall people.
He's powering through it.
Yeah, good for him. Good for him. And good for that team. Colossal Avian doing great today.
All right, let's check out some of the highlights from the 3-pound class as we rapidly approach the final.
There you see Repeater doing what they do best, just wrecking folks.
Repeater is so hard for people to fight. Catalyst with some incredible damage there.
Corey's so animated at the end of every fight. Twisted Sister throwing out some amazing hits all day.
Into the ceiling, but it wasn't to be as Repeater came back from the early disadvantage to take this one.
Yeah, excellent teamwork in this fight from them.
Great teamwork.
All right, let's check in this 3-pound bracket powered by True Finals. There's only 2 names left, and that's Repeater and Scurryfest.
You don't always get a matchup in the finals that looks like it's going to be amazing. This one just looks so good on paper.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's a tag team match, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we're watching going into the finals, and I do believe we're going to see a lot more of this style of robot this year. I mean, that is who the world champion was last year.
All right, folks, we are loaded up in Cage 3 for the 3-pound finals. We've got Scurryfest, and we've got Repeater.
The crowd is going wild. Can barely hear myself in these headphones.
This is the first Golden Dumpster of 2024. 3-pound tournament. Both of these bots have already qualified for the World Championships.
And here's our tail of the tape with Ryan Liu from Allen, Texas with a vertical spinner. Repeater, that's 2 robots on the same side. Miles Sims from Smyrna, Georgia. Another 2-part robot, both spinning over 200 miles per hour.
Interesting difference in strategy here. You've got one robot with 2 identical halves, the other robot with 2 different halves. Whose strategy is going to come out on top? Scurryfest has been dominant with that wedge, but against 2 opponents, how is it going to work?
Yeah, both these bots really meant to go after a single opponent.
Coming out fast. There are parts flying. I can't tell who that came off of.
No, me neither. But there you see the Crushfist portion of Scurryfest getting a nice pin at the beginning and then losing it right off the bat.
Looks like that was the front armor of one of the repeaters.
Yes,
has
it does.
come off entirely.
And now already getting another pin and bouncing all over the box. The other half of Repeater is stuck upside down, now pinned in the corner behind the house spot.
Scurryfest has come out strong here, knocking both Repeater halves upside down, and Repeater is just unable to come back here. Without both robots, they are struggling.
Nice shot there from one of the Repeater halves up against Scurryfest.
The half without the front wedge is still going, flipping over its partner.
Yeah, now both partners still in play.
What a fight. Repeater coming back strong here.
And Robert Run not able to land the pins that we've seen him be able to land throughout this tournament. That strategy really failing them.
Hits with Scurryfest stuck in the wall.
Able to shake themselves loose just by wiggling that weapon blade enough.
Not needing to use their unstick. That could be big. Wow.
And there you see this grind weapon on weapon action. Undercutter trying to cut away at the wheels of one half of Repeater. Nice shot there, but that's half of the drive system gone off the Scurryfest box.
Scurryfest has hit their own wheel off of their wedge bot. That is not going to be good.
No, that is a massive portion of their strategy.
They still seem to be controlling this fight, but that will count them. It cost them a lot in damage.
There is a lot of debris all over this arena. You can see one half of the Repeater is not moving very well.
Seems like Repeater is getting stuck on some of this debris that's strewn about. Now Scurryfest has to be careful not to knock the other wheel off their own robot. But Repeater again now lost half of their robot. Back and forth this fight goes.
Now all of Scurryfest is moving, but it does look like the red half of Repeater is not, and the blue half is not making much sense right now in the box.
No, their maneuverability is toast on both halves. Unable to really get that control they've been showing all night. Scurryfest, on the other hand, still going super strong with the larger half of their robot.
Yeah, Miles really pulling out his full strategy in this one. He's not left anything up to Robert Run.
Wow. The crowd counting down to the end of this fight.
And that is the end of your 3-pound finals. This will go to the judges, and they will decide who the first Golden Dumpster winner of 2024 is.
Back and forth battle the whole time, right to the buzzer.
That was a great fight.
That was a really solid matchup.
Loved the aggression, and I loved how Scurryfest was able to adjust after losing their main strategy. Of course, the wedge robot is actually the main component, taking most of the aggression and control points for them so far, and so losing that wheel was huge, but they were able to keep going, change the strategy on the fly, and that was impressive to see.
Yeah, we are not the judges, but in my scorebook, that looks like a really great opportunity for Scurryfest. We'll have to see how that comes out, but wow.
Yeah, I think I would agree there. I would give that one to Scurryfest. I think they had it on damage, control, and aggression, although every single category was close.
All right, so according to YouTube chat, they believe that 80% of them believe that Scurryfest is going to be the winner of that one. So we agree.
Yeah, fair. That's fair. Doesn't stop Miles from looking nervous.
All right, let's check some of the good
You're
hits
always
in that
nervous
fight.
after a fight.
Two very different multi-bot strategies colliding in this matchup.
Scurryfest early came out very strong.
And there goes the weapon, or goes the wheel.
That sort of changed the fight here, but they weren't able to see a lot of capitalization from Repeater. They never got those big hits they've been sending all night.
No, and we really did see the Scurry portion of Scurryfest kind of take over deal massive damage to the wheels and front armor packages, and just keep both of those bots on their heels that entire matchup.
Nice to see Scurry come out and show what it's got. You know, it's been taking a back seat a lot of this tournament, but not in that fight.
No, yeah, really nice to know that both halves of that team could take over the fight if they needed to. Really cool backup plan. I mean, phenomenal.
And all robots moving at the end of the fight. Impressive after all those hits.
So much debris just scattered around the arena.
You know, some of them moving more than others. But.
Yeah. But everybody doing some moving. No one's getting counted out.
Yeah. The best part about a finals match is you don't have to repair the robot after the fight. You
no matter
just pack
what.
It up.
Yeah, you got some weeks. You can deal with that later.
Although these days, with the rate of events that NHRL is doing, you might not have weeks in between.
Yeah, you might have a few days. That's true. You know, what I will say is no matter what, we are going to have to mop, sweep, just rag clean that arena after that. That was a messy fight.
Yeah. Another close call on the arena fouling.
Looks like we're doing some functionality testing for the judges, so they have a good assessment of the damage done throughout the fight.
Yeah, and they'll show, can they move both sides of drive? Can they activate the weapon to full speed? You know, this shows how much damage on each component, which is, of course, very important for the judges to do. Judging here is very objective in terms of which different bits, drive, and weapon are damaged on individual components.
Okay. How do you guys think you would feel in this position, just sitting, waiting? You can't do anything. Nothing you do makes it happen any faster.
You've
what?
been in this position.
Yeah,
so how does this feel?
I've been in this position, and it feels awful. Just terrible. If I hold my hands out in these situations, they shake like a leaf. Like I've worn a smartwatch during events, and the fights and the moment after in these judges' decisions counts as exercise. My heart rate gets so high.
The anxiety spiking.
Yeah, you just see where each fight is in the graph. So these are tense moments.
Yeah, I can imagine. And, you know, Miles is a pretty nervous guy a lot of times anyway. He's got to be stressing right now.
Maybe can we get the builders to wear like heart rate monitors, get the heart rate up on the screen during fights?
Actually, I would love that data. That would be fun.
Yeah.
We could just use our like multi-heart scanner that's installed into the building and detects everyone's heartbeat.
Oh, that exists? Okay, fair. Yeah. Weird. Love it. Kind of creepy, but fair.
More data is better data.
More data is
knowledge
better
is power.
data. Yes. Spoken like somebody from the social media age. Okay.
All right, still awaiting that decision.
It is never easy, and I do not ever envy the judges having to make these decisions.
You can
Just
see
split the trophy in half and give one half to each of them.
Robert nervously holding his hands in his pockets. Miles nervously holding his hands in his pockets.
Whoever the true winner is wouldn't let you cut the trophy in half.
There you go.
They'd say, no, give it to them.
All right, King Solomon.
All right, competitors, Peter. Oh,
Okay, here we
I think
go.
we're close.
And your winner, Scurryfest. Fantastic, ladies and gentlemen.
January's 3-pound U-Bot winner, Golden Dumpster winner, Scurryfest.
First Golden Dumpster of 2024. Congratulations to Miles Sims and Robert Rund. Miles has captained a beautiful team here. Congratulations.
They certainly earned it with great driving all day. Very, very few mistakes. I think the only mistake I saw them make the entire day was that wheel coming off.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it wasn't enough to cost them a fight. They made it through, and what an impressive performance.
Yeah, Miles was able to pull out that end of the fight pretty much all by himself against those bots. Phenomenal performance. That bot worked great.
You know, that's what makes champions, being able to adjust on the fly to unexpected situations, change your strategy, and still come out on top.
Beautiful. All right, let's check in with Chris. He's there with the winners. I'm excited to see what he has to say.
Miles, you Georgia Peach. Congratulations. You are the January New Bots Golden Dumpster winner for the 3-pound division. This is awesome. Congratulations.
It's amazing. I can't believe it.
Robert, awesome, great driving today. You're probably going to end up having 40 companion bots in the World Championships as well, but that's...
I'm not doing that again this year. I'm not being a multi-bot for like a cajillion different people.
It was a really awesome story that you guys were telling me before. You both came into NHRL at a New Bots event, and here you are at a New Bots event fighting as a team.
Yeah, absolutely. May 2022, the first New Bots event. Me and Robert both competed at that event. Him with Crushfist, me with Komodo. I ended up third. Both my losses were to Robert Brunn here.
Yeah, so as I said, we decided to work together so we didn't have the weaknesses. Of course, this fight is the only fight that I got de-wheeled by my partner because I decided I wanted to drive straight into his weapon. But it is what it is.
Is it because you didn't want him to take, all the credit?
Maybe a little.
Yeah, I agree with him.
Well, there's only one of these to give, and Miles, it is my honor and privilege to hand you your Golden Dumpster for New Bots January. Congratulations.
Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Congratulations to Miles. Enters the sport in 2022, and now just 2 years later, walking away with a Golden Dumpster. Phenomenal.
Yeah, again, really impressive performance. Great driving from both of them. Able to adjust the strategy in the final. Not where you want to be changing up your strategy on the fly, but they're able to do it. Wow. And taking down Repeater, which had looked unstoppable all day. No one had an answer, but they did.
Yeah, really impressive. And Miles pulled that off almost entirely by himself at the end of that fight. Incredible. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that is what we're going to see, I think, a lot this year. The multi-bot configurations.
Yeah, I hope so.
The adjusting on the fly, just a phenomenal performance by them. But man, such a different strategy, such a different type of win than we've seen throughout the rest of the year.
So cool to see the meta shift from the rule change. This is our first event since we shifted rules between seasons, and we were already starting to see the effect, and it's pretty cool.
How much do you think champions really affected the way that we're doing things? I know we tried some new things out there.
At All-Stars?
Yeah.
A lot. It changed to the 3-round qualifying from the 2, so folks get more opportunity to fight. It changed how we do the stream as well, from marathon stream to something a little more concise. And in addition to that, there's probably a third thing that I never think of 3 examples when I talk about lists.
It's kind of arbitrary. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I kind of like the changes. It's cool that we had that extra event in there to really fine-tune some things before we got into the real season.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was a lot of fun. Not everything that we did at All-Stars worked, but we learned a lot. We learned what our cages are capable of handling. Like if you look at cage 3, you can see it's been augmented since All-Stars. It famously had a pretty significant meltdown at the hands of Dutch Oven, and it's all back together now. It's reinforced, it's fireproofed. We've raised the roof literally on it. It's a whole new cage, really.
I like that is the fire cage, right? That is where we do it, just because it's got the taller ceilings. But it does mean roofings are a little bit harder.
Certainly.
But I kind of like it. It's a cool look.
I like how it still has the All-Stars floor logo as part of it, raising from the
just
ashes.
bringing back the memories a little bit there. It's kind of nice. All right, so we still have 2 golden dumpsters to hand out in the 12 and 30-pound division.
Yes.
In the 12-pound division, we are going to be seeing... Oh, sorry, we're going to look at some 30-pound highlights right now.
Big bots, big hits here. 30 pounds just getting tossed around like it's nothing. Sad to see the Hammerbot lose for me.
I feel you.
This was one of my favorite moments of the 30-pounders using their own mini-bot against them.
I don't think he's doing much cheering in Kiwi over there.
No.
And here we are, one of our qualifiers for finals.
So the controversial fight of the night there, Ricky accidentally hitting a couple times after the buzzer.
Yeah. Unintentional, but still controversial.
the wild fight in which the housebot got turned off.
It's always fun to see that, very rare, and to be kind of assisted into it like that, and it came back. What an upset.
Right, and let's look at that 30-pound bracket powered by True Finals. 2 names left. At the top, we have Moccasin and Colossal Avian.
So this will be an interesting fight. You know, I think Moccasin wanted to go up against Nitro-Oxide.
Yeah.
I think everyone had Nitro-Oxide on their bracket. You know, they'd been looking strong all night. This is why we can't predict anything here. You never know what's going to happen. But Colossal Avian does have the ability to reach high up, right? And that's not something I think Moccasin wants to go against.
No, yeah, all those special bits of Moccasin are up high. All the batteries, all the motors, but they can all be reached by Colossal Avian.
Here they come.
Making the hike to cage 1.
Who will be crowned the champion? One of these two is going home a lot happier than the other.
No,
but
Ricky's one of our heads of safety, and is the weapon lock on that a hammer?
You know, I don't think that technically meets the rules.
It's probably because our safety officer wasn't working today.
Oh, no.
He's playing with his robot.
There's a chain on it. Maybe that's the lock. I don't know. This is a little absurd.
Maybe there's something else we can't see. Maybe that's, you know, that's the joke safety.
It would be really funny if that is the safety. I love it.
The safety czar gets disqualified at the end for a safety violation. But no, both these robots can be proud of making it here. You know, they've both qualified for the championships later this year.
All right, let's look at the tail of the tape for this 30-pound final. Moccasin's up first. Ricky Willems, Baltimore, Maryland. He's got the rotary/cam lifter and 34 inches of reach. Massive. Matthew Zhang from Urbana, Illinois is here with his hammer saw robot Colossal Avian with a whopping inch of reach? I don't think that's right.
More.
Maybe that's 1 foot. Let's call it 12 inches because it's got a hammer saw. It's swinging that arm in front of it.
Arm.
But pretty wild match, hammer saw versus a rotary lifter.
Moccasin,
you don't see it often.
Very hard to fight. I've been saying this all day, and it's still true. It's so wide, it's so long, it's just confusing to fight against. You don't know where to go. You try to get around it, and you can't because it's just so big.
Well, what do you guys think? YouTube has 75% of our YouTube chat has Moccasin.
Well, Moccasin's been working more consistently throughout the day, but when Colossal Avian is working, I mean, that thing hits hard.
If Colossal Avian can get their weapon going, then it's anyone's game.
Yeah.
And if they get those reliability issues, then Moccasin's going to toss them around like a rag doll. But Colossal Avian has the ability to hit those tricky areas on Moccasin. And you know, Moccasin hasn't gone up against a robot like that yet. You know, those types of robots, they have a couple weaknesses. Horizontal spinners, they haven't had to fight a big horizontal today. And this type of robot that can come over the top is a noted weakness for this style of big, you know, high torque spinner. So this could be close. I think maybe closer than some would think, but it's really hard to predict.
There's no forks, it looks like, at all on the Colossal Avian. They just said, nope, no bothering.
I don't think you're going to out-fork Moccasin here. Moccasin with, I think they look like 2 feet long forks, a rotating cam lifter. You know, they just said, we're just going to go in there. We'll see if they try to drive around, try and play that game, get around the back. You know, all it takes is one hit with a spun-up weapon to get in there and damage that componentry at the back of Moccasin.
Ooh, componentry, nice. Yeah, there's also kind of less to grab onto as well, which is going to be a little bit helpful when you're going up against Moccasin.
Yeah, and the reason you'll do that as a builder is, you know, you run forks and there is that risk of getting stuck in the wall, getting stuck in the floor. Although it helps you get under your opponent, it does limit your mobility, and there's a lot of just getting stuck, especially this late in the tournament. The floor is getting beat up, more for it to catch on. So
yeah, the seams are getting a little out of whack, right?
Yeah. So, you know, by removing them, they're going to be a much more maneuverable bot than they would be had they left them on. And against a robot like Moccasin, you know, is it really worth it to use those forks? probably not. It's a little bit different of a game now with Moccasin having these rotating cam lifters.
Yeah.
That may shift some to use forks to get under that kind of structure at the front. But, you know, we're not seeing that from Colossal Avian. See if it pays off.
Well, if you go by number of batteries, I think Ricky's rocking like 13 in Moccasins, something absurd. So he's got the battery advantage.
All right, guys, let's get ready. This is your 30-pound final for the day. Round of applause for these competitors.
I am excited. The crowd is excited. Let's see what happens.
All right, the box is locked. Robots are getting into their corners.
Moccasin doesn't even fit.
You just got to get a bit in there. Just got to touch it. Are we seeing mobility issues here right off the bat?
Yeah.
That is not a good sign.
They left half the drive in Champaign-Urbana.
Oof. Maybe they're, you know, playing possum a little bit here.
Oh, I can see that.
It doesn't work.
Like
Head
Willy
game.
Wonka at the start before he did the somersault.
Head games are part of it, you know, getting the opponent's head, give him a little false confidence.
I think it's going to be a little bit more like Captain Ron, though. You're going to full send it without the ship fully working. Oh, okay. Okay, so it sounds like they're going to open this cage up so that Colossal Avian can do a new power cycle.
You don't see this a lot, but nice of them to give them the opportunity there, get the robot up to 100%, see if that's possible. Guess they were not playing possum.
This is all part of the act.
So they're gonna cycle the power on the bot because it seems like some things that when they turn the bot on didn't come on all the way. So like many electronics, if you turn it off and turn it back on again,
it fixes a surprising amount of things. Yeah. The amount of times that a robot that we've been running has just stopped in the arena, we go back to the pits, turn it back on, and it fully works. You know, it's significantly more than none times.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll hear a lot of the competitors talking about, you know, it worked upstairs.
Yeah.
What happened downstairs?
Yeah, it worked as soon as I got back to the pits. It worked before, it worked after. Why didn't it work during?
Something about the air downstairs just changes it up.
You know, it is a little chilly down here.
All right, folks.
3, 2,
Here we go. We are into the fight now.
Moccasin slow out of the gate here, playing it up. Colossal Avian just going right into the front. Arms seems to be stuck in the extended position.
I think a lot of things are stuck on Colossal Avian right now. They are having mobility issues. They are having weapon issues.
Not how you want to start the finals. Ooh, Moccasin having a difficult time here getting under them, getting in with the weapon.
Yeah, because it's hitting that arm, and the arm's compliant. So they hit it. You're not getting any lift. You're just kind of flipping it.
Flipping it back. Yeah, unable to really grab anything, just sort of shoving them around. But Colossal Avian, unfortunately, not able to be very mobile. Getting a little bit here. Yeah, you know, Moccasin really controlling this fight. At this point, Moccasin's fight to lose. Colossal Avian got to figure out what's going wrong. Looks like they need to turn it off and on again, unfortunately.
Yeah, they don't get a chance to power cycle now, a minute into the fight.
Perhaps Moccasin will provide some percussive maintenance for them.
For the uninitiated, percussive maintenance is what we call it when you hit a robot just the right way and then it starts working again. You might remember your old tube television set that used to do the same thing.
Always a risk when your opponent is sitting like this. You go in and tap them and they just magically come back to 100%. Which maybe seems to have happened here. You know, Colossal Avian back moving again. Moccasin, though, very good competitor. All evening has been knocking people back onto their feet, keeping the fights going.
Still just enough movement in Colossal Avian to not get them counted out.
Oh, no. I feel like I can hear Colossal Avian.
No. What are you doing, Ricky? Ricky!
He's threatened. I don't know if Ricky's gonna be able to lift that much weight.
For the record, Flo weighs like what, 300 and something pounds. It's a lot of
300. That's that's tough. Colossal Avian was making noises, but it doesn't seem to be moving.
No, so that means your winner and the second Golden Dumpster of 2024, Ricky Willems and Moccasin.
Round of applause from the crowd. Victory dance in the arena. Can barely spin, it's so large. But wow, like coming out, Moccasin looks completely, not a scratch on it from the whole competition. And I think he's exceeded everyone's expectations
including
here.
His own.
Yeah.
Amazing job by Ricky Willems.
Impressive.
He did it.
He did it.
He did it.
Yeah.
He's called so many of these championship fights, and now he's finally in one.
So awesome.
That's a great feeling to win that dumpster. You know, you feel a weight lift off you. You can almost see it.
That gives him some announcer cred, too.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, we're going to have Ricky up here for less events this year, I think.
I got to catch up on the dumpsters.
Got to win more dumpsters. Add to his tally.
Wow.
Teammates congratulating him there.
You can just see how relieved he feels, you know, this is an exciting moment for everyone to come out. Disappointing for Colossal Avian to not come out at 100%. But, you know, at the end of a long day of fighting, sometimes it just doesn't work. They'll have a lot of time to get that back together for the championships. Maybe we'll see them again as they try and get it dialed in.
And we haven't seen them. I mean, they haven't been around longer than, what, 2 weeks at this point? So, you know, not bad for a 2-week-old robot.
No.
Yeah, not bad getting an invite to the finals in 2 weeks.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Safety hammer back in.
Now it's safe.
Now it's safe. Safety team questions Ricky. Ricky's like, I am the safety.
Well, I bet he's relieved he doesn't have to charge 17 batteries again.
Yeah, that does make your life less stressful. Charging those lipos can be a little bit nerve-wracking.
I wonder how many chargers he even brought.
Yeah.
Because they were all 2-cell, so they require balance leads.
Why does it have so many?
I think it was a matter of availability and what was in front of him at the moment.
I've got 20 batteries. What am I going to build with this?
Yeah, the batteries came first.
Maybe I'll go win NHRL.
What weight class am I doing? Let me count the batteries.
All right, let's check with Chris. Okay, we're not checking with Chris just yet. We're still laughing about all the batteries Ricky ran in Moccasin.
90% batteries.
All right, we're clear.
All right.
Ricky.
Yeah.
Ricky.
Hi, Chris. Hello.
You take the day off, but you bring home a dumpster for New Bots January. Tell us about your day.
Well, I did a lot of trash can riding because I thought that would be an appropriate path to get to a dumpster, and apparently it worked. I don't know. This wasn't supposed to happen. I thought we were going to have a light day. There were a lot of drops, and then we didn't really have any. We didn't have any buys. We didn't have any forfeits. We had fight after fight. We had a rough learning curve in the beginning because we'd never done it with this robot before. We'd never driven it. We'd never driven it in an arena. By fight 2 and 3, we were really kicking, and we just kept kicking until we got into dumpster land.
You took, what was it, 4 years off? How do you translate that and then just come back with a really impressive bot that was so dialed in?
This was not dialed in. There is so far to go on this thing. But it was also so much work. The difference between taking a weekend in 2018 or 19 or whatever it was to throw something together and bring it in and be competitive, and then taking basically 2 months to put this together, and even now I'm like, I'm a 20% into the workload to get this where it needs to be. It's monumental. Like, this has been a complete change to my concept of a robot competitor, of how I relate to being a robot competitor.
So when you say it's not dialed in, does that mean that we're going to see Moccasin again?
What I think I'm going to do is have my wonderful team Mammoth take up the leads here and bring this through, push it forward so that it can come to a few more NHRL events, and get them to really get it ship-shape to get a deserving spot in the finals.
You know, you do have such an awesome team behind you, Team Mammoth, Team Honeycracked. You have some of the best assets in the sport at your disposal, and it would be in very good hands.
Yeah, and it's not just Honeycrack, you know, Bone Dead Robotics, some non-robotics, I should say non-NHRL folks that have been such a great help, you know, Matt, Anna, Ellie, M, so many others who have really put time and effort into not just this robot, but the entire concept of, you know, rotary lifter combat robots, and none of this obviously could have even kind of sort of happened without them. So,
well, Ricky, it is my honor and privilege as your friend and co-host to hand you your Golden Dumpster for New Bots January. Congratulations.
Is it always this heavy or am I tired?
So awesome. So awesome. I'm really happy for Ricky.
Me too. First of all, really weird to see Ricky at an event with no costume changes. He's worn the same thing all day. Very strange. The other point I wanted to bring up, Ricky brought up a great point. His superpower in this sport in so many ways is networking, making those relationships, making those connections, and bringing those amazing people onto his team that are able to help him accomplish something so incredible in just 2 months.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And that Maryland squad, the Bone Dead, Honeycracked, Mammoth, they're good.
Yeah, they're really good. Ricky's a genius. He's a great engineer, but man, he's got a phenomenal team behind him.
And great to hear the crowd with the Ricky chant at the end there, letting them know, you know, how much they enjoyed that performance.
He put on a great show all day.
Ricky coming back here, supposed to be at All-Stars, couldn't get the robot finished in time, comes here, runs the table. Great job.
Yeah. Great job.
All right, so let's check out in the pits real quick with Lindsay. Yet another phenomenal human in the squad.
Sam, you're too kind. This event, I mean, it's something that I look forward to every single year. It is the best way, I think, to kick off any new year because we see so many weird and wacky things, but I think also some of the most unexpected storylines come out of it. And I mean, we've seen so many kids competing today. That spot that we aired on Toddler Terror warmed my heart, tried not to cry. It was really special. To see Ricky get a golden dumpster, Ricky and Zoe and Cody. I know Ricky was hoping to bring that robot to December All-Stars. A lot of life events happened and got in the way, so I know that this is a really meaningful win for Ricky. I can't think of anyone better to celebrate. I mean, everyone I want to celebrate, but it's just been a really feel-good event. I respect all of these builders so very much, and I hope, you know, I say this all the time, but if you are at home and this is something that's inspiring to you, no matter what age you are, no matter, you know, what your experience is, there are so many avenues for you to get involved in this. Check out the Discord. There are so many build resources there. The NHRL Discord, you can just join. You don't need a special invite. I just can't wait to see what 2024 brings. I'm so excited.
So excited as well. Thank you, Lindsay. Here's the last look at the 12-pound bracket powered by True Finals. There's 2 names left. It's Blue Marlin and it's Questionable Choices, and they're going to be fighting in Cage 4.
No control bots in this one. This is going to be pure kinetic energy. We'll see who wins out.
Questionable Choices is in the blue square. And in the pink corner, Blue Marlin.
You know, they could have arranged that better. I'm just saying.
Yeah, if you have a color in your name, I feel like you should just always get that corner.
Yeah.
All right, let's do that tail of the tape real quick before we get into this 12-pound final. On the Blue Marlin side, we have Bob Bellinson from Port St. Lucie, Florida, vertical spinner with a UHMW billet frame. Very cool. Mark Liu from San Diego, California brings questionable choices, another vertical spinner. And it's mostly magnesium, but here we go. We're about to get to the countdown for the final fight of the night.
The energy in here is palpable.
Oh my goodness. Ending the night with a 12-pound final just goes to show you how competitive this bracket has been all day long.
Fight, robots, fight.
And we're off. Both bots tentative coming out, and a big hit by questionable choices. Is that going to be the story here? Can Blue Marlin come back and win the ground game?
Nice shot there from Blue Marlin, able to get an angle on those, and gets the better of that hit.
Into the short corner behind Fluffy.
Ripping into the back panel on questionable choices, and now questionable choices has got some bent forks, and they're kind of up in the air.
Wow, Blue Marlin really coming back here strong after that first engagement didn't go their way. Double pin here with the smaller wedge bot behind Blue Marlin. Is Blue Marlin having drive issues?
Looks like it, yeah. That right side seems to be struggling.
Seeing a little bit of crab walking from both bots here.
It's been a long day. It's been a war of attrition, and these are two heavy hitters doing damage to themselves every single time they make an impact.
We saw in Blue Marlin's last fight, they were pretty good with the crab walking. Will they be able to use that skill here to come up and get some more hits on questionable choices? Or will the second smaller wedge robot on questionable choices come in handy here? We're seeing a high center. And this can count for control for the judges. And allow questionable choices larger kinetic energy bot to come in. Ooh. Oh, and the drive, is it back? Releasing the pin.
Nah, still crab walking, still struggling.
This could come down to just one more hit, really setting the tone for the judges.
Yeah, this is that anxiety-inducing. How will the crab walking bots make contact, and what will that look like?
You don't want to run away. You don't want to look like you're not being aggressive, but you want to be careful because you don't want to shove your wheel right into the opponent's weapon.
No.
Questionable choices. The lower of the two robots overall is getting high-centered on the rougher floor here.
Blue Marlin does seem stuck at the moment, and now also getting a pin. There we go, able to shake themselves loose. But they do seem to keep getting stuck on that left side.
Yeah, as the day goes on, that floor is going to get rougher and rougher, and it's going to be hard for these low robots. And once you lose half the drive, again, it's going to make it even tougher. Oh, this is tense. You can hear the weapon spinning up to full speed, trying to get any advantage they can in this crab walking game.
30 seconds left in this matchup, in this final.
Will anyone get a hit?
Please.
If not, the judges are just going to have to go off that opening salvo. It's going to be hard. Blue Marlin's maneuverability seems to be getting lower and lower as the fight goes on.
Yeah. Does seem like they're not going to get counted out at this point, but...
We're going to see both of them make it to the end, but now even questionable choices, smaller wedge robot is not very maneuverable and is upside down. Will that play into the judge's decision?
Oof. All right, so the first 45 seconds or so is going to determine the entirety of the 12-pound finals today.
So I would imagine this one's going to trigger a functionality test for the judges.
I sure hope so.
Yeah, I would definitely think you're going to see a function test here. Can they both spin up? How much maneuverability does either one have? The smaller wedge robot losing full maneuverability at the end when it got flipped could really factor into such a close fight here. You know, we saw Blue Marlin take the worst of that first hit, but come back strong. But after they got that sort of pin in the short corner behind the house spot, both robots were unable to recover.
Looks like they're displaying what mobility they have left.
Sometimes, you know, after a fight, I think you can feel confident that you're going to get the judge's decision. I don't know if either robot right now can really feel confident. This is a close one. I'm interested to see, you know, what does our chat think on this one?
Oh,
another 50-50 in the chat.
Can't say I'm surprised about that. Don't envy the judges. Their job is already stressful, but when they have to decide a final,
Whew. Let's look at the replays here, see if we can find any advantage for either robot. On closer look, that's that first hit sending Blue Marlin flying. But once they self-righted, they had the next several as they got the short corner pin. There was a bit of a double pin at the end here, which was interesting.
And then the mobility after those engagements were very limited on both bots. That's a tough one to call.
Not much to go with after that. I think you saw a little bit less maneuverability out of Blue Marlin.
As the match went on,
As it went on, but with questionable choices, unable to capitalize on that.
Yep. And questionable choices, secondary bot was having mobility issues as time went on too. That has to factor in.
That's got to factor in. If that had kept going, it would have factored in their favor.
Yeah.
Because they would have had more drive left at the end. But with that also going out a little bit, with it teetering and just unable to move. Whew.
Yeah, that is a tough one.
On the spot at the announcer desk, which way would you judge this one?
If you were like twisting my arm.
I can.
I mean, don't. But I'd say questionable choices, but like barely.
See, I was gonna say Blue Marlin.
See, that I could go both ways, but really I do feel like it's that mobility issue, degradation towards the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's such a hard one to call.
The disappointing thing is I didn't really think anyone came out and won it.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't see someone really take it.
Yeah.
But if there was just the one engagement.
Yeah.
That one hit. That was the impact. That was 4 questionable choices, but did it even
there was
do
4
anything?
or 5 hits for Blue Marlin after that.
And we don't judge by hits, it's by damage. And
correct.
I didn't see too much damage from that hit besides the mobility issues that both robots saw.
After the volley of hits after that, right?
Yeah.
It was this series of hits after that you
first
started
hit
to
was
see
a large impact, but both robots seemed to just keep going strong,
totally
100%, until the repeated Blue Marlin hits in the corner were able to knock something loose on both of them.
Yeah.
So it's quite difficult because it also I don't believe the judges really care who did the damage.
Correct.
It's just that damage happened.
Yeah.
So you have a very similar amount of damage to both robots. You had pretty strong aggression on both robots. Control, it's tough.
We should be getting this decision here any moment. All right,
Decision
here we
coming
go.
up.
And
Right, questionable choices.
your winner and 12-pound champion. Questionable choices. Fantastic. Wow, that's a tight one.
This is why I don't do predictions.
See? See?
All right. We're going to have Chris head on over to the questionable choices team after that win. And there he is. And he's almost ready.
He's talking. There's just nothing on the mic. Here we go.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Mark, you landed the Blue Marlin. Congratulations. You hooked it and you reeled it in. What's it like to be a Golden Dumpster winner here at New Bots January?
Just speechless. It was an awesome run. It was a lot of good fights. I wish the last fight was a little more exciting for everyone to watch, but still worked out.
Now, there was a couple of colossal hits at the beginning of that match. What happened?
So I think the first exchange, I got really good under his wedge, so I got a really good hit, and then he started to catch me. So he got behind me and hit me, and that's actually what took out one of the gearboxes. That's why I lost drive after that exchange.
Now, you had a fully functional weapon, but both bots were limping. Do you think that having that operational weapon is what gave you the advantage in the judge's decision?
Oh, 100%. The weapon working was definitely a big leg up, and as well as the mini-bot and the driving of the mini-bot.
I am so happy to hand this to you, Mark. Congratulations. Here is your Golden Dumpster. You are the New Bots Golden Dumpster winner for the 12-pound division.
I got to tell you,
All
I'm
right.
liking that Mark kid more and more.
All business.
So big congratulations to the questionable choices team. Awesome.
Their choices are looking less and less questionable.
This entire event,
It seems they make great choices.
All right, so we have crowned 3 Golden Dumpster winners at this event. We have seen a bunch of weird robots, a bunch of amazing fights. We want to thank you for joining us this entire evening, for sticking this out with us, and for having such a great time. Can't wait to see you at the next event.
March 2nd, we'll see you right here at the House of Havoc.
Bye.